Yeah, sure, Trump. Listen, I'm not Trumpified. I'm clearly not Trumpified, okay? Sure, Trump. What the, what? Can we shut the fuck up? What is this? What is this? Can we cease? Like, I trust Cap not to make me cry. I'll do yours tomorrow. I'll do yours tomorrow, Shadow. Huh? Don't huh. That's fake. That's fake news. Totally. She will never do anything bad. She definitely is an orange. I'm not lying. Cab, what do you think of the Chinese? Bro, listen. That was such a terrible out of context clip. That was such a terrible out of context clip. You said tomorrow's your day off. Well, I'm not taking a day off. I changed my mind. Monday's gonna be my day off. Monday's gonna be my day off. Okay, I promise. I promise. Listen, I've got back into routine now of going live every day, which is like good. So you know, we're chilling. We're chill, bruh. Awesome. All right. What do you guys want? Part-timer chat season. No, I will play Chaos Zero Nightmare today. I promise. Look, I downloaded it. Look, I downloaded it. I had to download it through this fucking launcher. I don't know why, but I did, and it's here now. So we're good. We're good. I will play it today. Which is why I kind of want to get some reacts done. So I can play, because I do actually genuinely want to play Chaos Zero Nightmare. Like I do. Okay, guys, what do you want? I can watch Unk. I can react to Unk's video, but it's half a fucking hour, so we're gonna be here for like an hour. I can watch Dark Patterns. Are your games playing you? And we could talk about the gacha stuff. Yo! Tacky! Yo, is this for an account review? Okay, I got 2 spaces left. I got 2 spaces left. Tacky. I got 2 more spaces, and then that's it. I know Cinefe really wants one. Review, I'll do them tomorrow. I'm doing them tomorrow. If you give them now, I'll do them tomorrow. With Shadow. So be Tacky and Shadow tomorrow. I know Cinefe wants one. Alright. Okay, awesome. Alright, so what are we feeling more? What are we feeling more? Are we feeling Dark Patterns? Are we feeling Unk? Warframe's critique of DNA? Or 1,000 hours of Warframe? Or good graphics? What do we want? Yo, hi Inko, what's up, man? Cinefe go to coach you on how to do account reviews, and I'm all for it. Do them in VC. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. Warframe Muga? Is this a Warframe Muga moment? Do you guys actually really like Warframe? Unk, I'm curious. I'm fine with anything. God, you're so easy to please. Damn, you're so easy to please. I've never played it. I couldn't get to Warframe, not gonna lie. Just for the cheesy story, it felt rushed. Pacing was bad. Yeah, that's my feeling on it too. That's exactly what I said. I got 7k hours on Warframe. Holy fuck. 7k hours. I feel I might save this for tomorrow because this is 40 minutes. So, and I don't have huge amounts of time today if I also want to play Chaos Zero Nightmare. I could fit maybe like 2 I think this might be the best thing to watch now. And maybe we'll do this one. You don't want to go, bro, it's no, a 40-minute video is going to mean I'm watching this for double that time probably and reacting to it. It's probably going to be over an hour of me, or an hour. This is an hour-long react. I don't know if I feel like I want to do 1 whole hour right now. Warframe is dropping its cutest character in 3 days. Cap hates us. Yeah, I do. I fucking hate you guys. You guys suck. You guys fucking suck. Like, I hate all of you. Unk has a very good critique. You will like it. I think he probably will mirror things that I've critiqued it onto. I never uploaded my video of my critique about it because I felt like I could have worded it a little bit better, but I'm sure it's mirrored. I'm sure it's mirrored. You know what? Fuck it. We'll watch his video. You know what? You know what? We can. You know what? Fuck it. Do I make a react out of Smack's video? Let me think about it. Tentacle Warframe. All right, hang on. Let me 2.8 full quest. I want to bring up some. Hi Vixen. Hi Lovely. I like to use this to scroll through and remind myself of certain story beats. Okay, we can watch Smack. We can watch this for sure. All right. Actually, I'm gonna react to this first because I'm not gonna make this a video. I feel no, I'd rather just make my own. So I can watch this just casually with you guys afterwards, but I need my content of the day. I need to do my job. I need to do my job first. So we could do this. Oh, we could do this. I wake up your mind. I have crippling ADHD. Guys, listen, I have executive function issues. I have crippling ADHD. Are we surprised? Are we surprised? Job. There's also a new.
Who would win in a race? The fastest man.
Mr. Beasto! Oh. Fuck. No, I can't watch that. I'm gonna get distracted. If I watch that, I'm actually gonna lose my mind. I'm actually gonna lose my fucking mind. It's gonna be bad. No! Not Mr. Breast. Not Mr. Breast. No. No. Chris Wilson video is fantastic. Yeah, I really want to watch it. Watch Mr. P 6'7". Watch Mr. Breast. Oh, okay. Let's get into this, shall we? So wait, is Chris Wilson a developer? Oh, he's actually one of the creators of Path of Exile. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, and now I'm even more interested in watching this video. Okay, here we go. What's good, everybody? So today we are going to be taking a look at this video right here by Chris Wilson. Dark patterns are your games playing you? I feel this is going to be a talk about predatoriness of the games, how they really influence you. And I just found out that Chris Wilson is a developer of Path of Exile, so he knows his stuff when it comes to games and video gaming and the gaming industry. So I am very, very interested to see what exactly takes he has of the whole situation, as someone who is very much has experience in a successful game in the industry. So this is actually massive. So let's take a look at this guy's video right here. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it.
A few years ago, a friend of mine carried a laptop 6 kilometers through the bush just to log into a game and keep a daily login streak alive.
I realized the bush is a place in Australia. No, it's not an actual literal bush. Sorry, I had to. 1 second in, I gotta already use my brain.
That's not fun. That's not entertainment. That's a dark pattern. Hi, I'm Chris Wilson. In this video, I want to show you how some modern games manipulate your schedule, your wallet, and even your friendships.
Me playing Ethereal Restart and I couldn't go to bed because I needed to use all my max refreshes and all my stamina, and it was like 4 in the morning, and I kept like doing the stamina and failing, so the stamina I'd get back so it would never end, and then suddenly it's 6 in the morning and I'm still playing this game and I can't like get out of the loop, and then suddenly I'm there and I can't sleep. Yeah, okay, I get it.
You may have heard the term dark pattern before. It refers to a design that deliberately manipulates user behavior, usually to get those users to spend money or engage more than they intended. A classic example is a hotel site flashing scarcity cues like, only one room left, 4 people are booking right now. You also
10% off offer only, or 75% off lasting 30 seconds right now. Guys, get it now. Guys, this character on this banner is only going to be here for like 20 days. You better get him now. Also, you should play their story, so you could definitely want to pull for them even more.
see services that are easy to sign up for but hard to cancel. Confirm shaming buttons that say, I'd rather pay full price. Optional extras like shipping insurance being automatically added to your shopping cart, or pop-ups that say, don't leave yet, you have unpurchased items. Dark patterns like these are increasingly common, to the point where regulators and consumer groups are starting to push back. Today I want to...
Especially in the European Union and in European countries, we're seeing that more and more. They even targeted, like, I think gacha games as well, like requiring you to have, like, when you have currency, like specific in-game currency, they are pushing for you to have like actual monetary real equivalents next to it, so people could at least see what they're purchasing and have more weight to it when they see that kind of in-game currency. It's like EU is really pushing back on that kind of stuff at the moment. Like it's getting a lot of traction.
Talk about a less discussed form of dark patterns, and that's their use in the games that we play and make. Given how much money is made by the games industry, it's no surprise that some developers are applying psychological principles to the reward systems of their games to manipulate players into engaging more. In this video, I'm not talking about gameplay systems that are intentionally addictive or immersive. That's part of the entertainment you signed up for. I'm talking about the meta systems, monetization tricks, retention loops, psychological hooks, and UI traps that manipulate you outside of the actual gameplay.
Oh no, I feel you're going to be able to relate so many of these to gacha games. Because gacha games are just infinite retention loops. That's what they're designed to be like. Everyday logins, limited time characters, package deals every month you could buy, monthly passes that only work if you log in every day. Ooh.
Another way to look at this is, if a developer focuses on making a game as compelling as it possibly can be, and it ends up really fun, interesting, and makes players want to play it again and again, then that developer won't need to rely on manipulative psychological tricks to artificially improve their metrics. Okay, enough preamble. Let's get into some dark patterns. So, like with non-game products, user interface dark patterns are common. For example, some mobile games ask you to rate them out of 5 stars. If you pick 5, you're sent straight to the App Store to leave a review. Anything less sends you to a developer feedback form instead. This quietly biases actual reviews towards higher ratings by making lower scoring reviews.
Oh my god, wait, that's crazy. I never even thought about that. That's wild. So, like, you're unlikely to ever leave a bad review. You're more likely to give good reviews. Wow, I never even thought that was a thing. I legit didn't even know that was a thing. That is crazy. Wait, that's actually already blown my mind. If you how would you rate our app and you rate it a 2? They won't send you to the review site. They'll send you to like a feedback. That's actually fucked up.
It's harder to leave. Another example of a user interface dark pattern is a game that allows you to spend real money to level up gems that can be socketed into your gear. But players might find that once they've completely maxed out a gem at great expense, more sockets appear, requiring them to spend more money than they...
Let's ignore the fact that we could let's ignore the fact that we could straight up buy like tubes and XP. Let's ignore that fact. We could straight up purchase it.
initially intended to completely max out their character. This moving of the goalposts could potentially manipulate players into thinking they were going to complete their character for one price when it actually costs a lot more. They may not have committed to spending as much if they knew that from the start. Dark patterns in games extend far beyond just deceptive user interfaces, though. They're typically categorized as temporal, social, psychological, and monetary dark patterns. I've put some links to some of my references that have comprehensive lists in the video description.
And he's got references. Oh my god, this guy's a W so far. He's come out with the glue, the receipts, everything. Bro, it's only been 2 minutes, 3 minutes into this video, and bro's already given examples, cooked, and said, I've got references linked below. Holy...
But I'll go through a few of the major ones with you right now. Before we get started, I should note that pretty much any mechanism that tries to manipulate a change in user behavior is considered a dark pattern in games, but the severity varies a lot. Some of them are much more mild than others, and we'll all have different opinions about which of them are harmless and which are going too far.
Okay, so not all of them are necessarily bad.
Many live service games have daily login rewards. In behavioral psychology, when an action is followed by a reward, your brain learns to repeat it. Every day that you log in and receive this reward, you'll get a hit of dopamine, building a habit over time. Players who are conditioned...
How many of you buy the monthly pass but you never log in? Or you don't log in daily? How many? Own up. Own up right now. How many of you do it? How many of you log in? How many of you buy the pass but you never actually log in? Admit it. I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Logging in every day do it not because they're excited to play, but because it feels like brushing their teeth, just something they have to do. Some games have login streaks. This is where the rewards escalate for each sequential day you log in. When you break the streak, your rewards reset back down to the minimum level. Now, humans have a strong sense of loss aversion, where losses feel roughly twice as bad as gains feel good, and hence players will go significantly out of their way to avoid breaking these streaks. As I mentioned before, I have a friend who was on an off-the-grid camping trip and had to walk 6 kilometers with his laptop and a 3G modem so he could keep a login streak going in some random game he was playing.
That's crazy. Like, that's wild. Like, I must keep up the streak. I must do it. Do you know what it reminds me of? I remember back in the day when I was like 16, when Snapchat was like birthed and being a thing, and everyone cared about snap streaks. Like, oh, I gotta keep my streak up. I gotta keep my, people would just send nothing just so they keep streaks up. People like consistency. People like having streaks. Maybe that's why Twitch implemented like consecutive watch streaks into Twitch. Maybe that's why they've just done that. Because they know people want to chase them. Duolingo streak is a W. Yeah, people just like people like the look of being consistent daily.
There are even games out there that let you pay real money to restore a broken streak. In addition to daily login bonuses, many games have daily tasks or challenges which reset every 24 hours. Players feel obliged to complete these so that the easy rewards don't go to waste. They don't want to miss out on cheap progress that everyone else is getting. Some games rely on dark patterns rooted in social obligation to manipulate you into behaving differently. For example, it's common for mobile base builder games to have guilds or clans where daily participation, like doing quests or donating resources, is important for your guild to succeed. If you don't log in each day and perform these actions, you let your friends down, which causes guilt and social pressure for you to be active daily.
Ethan, when he doesn't log in to his to his guild with his WoW friends, and suddenly he has to be like outcasted, and he has to crawl back to making gacha content and playing gacha on stream and not playing WoW. That's what needs to happen. He needs to be shamed. He needs to not play every day so he can be shamed out of playing WoW. That's what happens.
This dark pattern can exploit and strain our friendships, especially when the game is tuned to make daily participation essentially mandatory. Other games feature gifting between players, where reciprocation of gifts is rewarded with extra bonuses. This taps into reciprocity pressure to cause you to feel the need to log in daily and return gifts to people. Some games have...
Nah, if you give me something, I feel zero need to give something back. No, actually, that's a lie. Just in general, I don't like it when people give me stuff. I actually don't. I actually feel, it makes me feel very uncomfortable because I always feel like I'm indebted or I'm owed. So I'm like, Ethan, hi. Oh, well, hello. I definitely just wasn't talking about you. I definitely wasn't.
Friend bonuses, or even outright pyramid schemes, where you make faster progress if you have recruited an extensive network of friends to join the game and play with you. Time-gated tasks, or playing by appointment, are when a game tells you have to come back at a specific time or face consequences. Popularized by farming games where your crops would wither and die if not harvested at the right time, the game forces...
Did any of y'all play Farmville? Oh my fucking god.
...control of your schedule, sometimes making you wake up in the middle of the night to click buttons or lose your investment.
Oh, my Tamagotchi when I was a kid. If you didn't, it would die.
Blocked until you come back when these resources have regenerated. While this is less harsh than your crops being completely lost, you'll feel pressure to come back at exactly the right time to maximize your rate of progress. When you're not the one deciding when you play the game, but instead having the game decide for you, it's worth questioning your entire relationship with that game.
I think I'm just like, maybe I'm just built different. I'm not gonna lie. Not to be that person. I understand it's like this is dark practice, but like if I just don't want to do something, I just won't. I very rarely ever build like a connection to something that's so much that I feel I need to compulsively do it. Like I just simply won't. Even if I get like a monthly pass on a gacha, I probably won't even do the full thing, so it's kind of a waste of my time. That's why I don't really do them anymore. You know, I'm one of those people that just, I'm not really susceptible to these practices, but I totally understand other people get sucked into it. Like there's a reason why they're so effective. They're incredibly effective.
Some live service games create artificial scarcity for their store items. As entirely digital purchases, there's no physical requirement to limit the number of people who can purchase something, but doing so often causes it to sell much faster due to players fearing they're going to miss out. This pattern is similar to the one employed in gacha games, where they often have certain characters available for purchase only occasionally, causing a frenzy of activity when they are. Not only does this cause more sales, but it conditions players to check in with the game daily to see if the character they want is available for sale.
Nah, we gacha players, we know the exact date and time patches drop with characters. We don't have to log in. We know the exact, we're tuned into everything. We're so locked in and brain broken into patch release cycles of gacha games that we know exactly the minute a character comes out. That's how cooked we are. That's legitimately how brain broken we all are as a community. Like, let's not lie. Let's not fucking lie. We know the exact minute, hour, fucking day, second a character is coming out. Because we immediately want to spend all the pulls that we've logged in every day to collect and done all the events, because we must pull for the new character. I can't. If I don't pull for the new character, I'm going to spontaneously combust. I must use my asteroids. I must.
Variety of dark patterns related
to the wife must come home.
Premium currency in games. Developers can design their premium currency packs to be slightly too small to buy the most desirable items, requiring players to purchase more premium currency at once than they plan to. Developers can pick arbitrary exchange rates for their premium currency, so that players can't really understand the true cost of the item they're buying.
Yeah, so this costs, it's 160 asteroid for a pull, but it's 160 like Ludites, and 160 Ludites is like, it's like £2, but like that's how much it be. So actually you got to buy the Lunites, and then you got to use the Lunites to make the asteroids. I hate it. It is just a bad practice, and I'm glad the EU is stepping up on that and is like, actually maybe these in-game currencies are a little bit too deceptive, and we need to make people very much aware of how much these things cost at face value. So I'm glad that's being changed.
Cheap items can be placed next to expensive items in the store to make them look like better value. Some games employ special in-game or monetization events that are time-limited or seasonal. The content and rewards are only spending events available for a limited time window. Players do not want to miss out on a unique reward that may never be available again, so this limited availability causes fear of missing out, which leads to intense and anxious play during the event window.
Also, it's like just any even free-to-play events, right? Like limited time rewards, that's what he's talking about, right? I thought he was talking about more about spending events. No, like even limited time events where you won't get the full rewards, like they make them permanent afterwards sometimes, but you won't get the full thing. And honestly, the limited rewards are what you really care about most anyway. So it does create FOMO, because I know even for me at the end of patches, I'm like, you know what, actually I should probably do my events right now, because I could probably do, not even for the asteroids, but for the materials to level my characters can be like mega useful. It's not even about the asteroids most of the time for me when it comes to events, it's the materials.
There's also a phenomenon called the endowed progress effect, which shows that if players are given a head start on a reward track, then they are far more likely to finish the rest of that track.
Oh my god, battle passes.
So that they don't waste the progress they have so far.
Oh my god, battle passes. If you get the more expensive one, you get like 10, you get extra 10 levels. Oh my god.
Even though they didn't even make that progress themselves. It's a bit like the sunk cost fallacy. This is why some battle pass schemes start with the first already completed, or have some really easy ones that are inadvertently completed while playing. This manipulates players into committing to complete a reward track that they may not have chosen to attempt without the free bump of progress at the start. So we've gone through a bunch of different dark patterns, and some of them seem pretty user hostile. You may be wondering, why would developers pollute their live service games with all this crap? Well, there are several answers to that question. And the first is that it works. Yep. These techniques are all highly effective. They produce the desired outcomes.
Like, they're all literally psychologists, okay? They're people who work in psychology, who are hired at companies to literally analyze what is the best way to get people to perform certain actions. There are people whose literal job it is to make an experience as like to keep as much retention of you as possible and spend the most money. There are people literally hired to make that happen and to figure out those kind of processes. It's crazy.
Manipulate well understood psychological principles that our human brains are vulnerable to. The second reason is that players generally tolerate many of these design patterns pretty well. Have a look at the games you play and see what techniques they're using from this video. Ask yourself if these are a big enough deal that you'll quit playing the game entirely over them. Chances are you're still playing the game despite the presence of these manipulative elements. Another important reason is mindshare. There are a lot of live service games out there, and players have a limited amount of free time. If a game doesn't have all of the addictive hooks and manipulative retention mechanisms we discussed, then its players may find themselves compulsively logging into other games to complete daily tasks and forget to play this one.
That's so true. Like if you're someone who doesn't subscribe to the same like standards as the others, you're gonna lose out because people are still have that compulsion to play the other games, but now they don't have a compulsion to play your game. They're less likely to really go back to it in the first place. Ooh, wait, DNA anyone? Duet Night Abyss anyone? You don't have to play every single day. And maybe because of that, people might not go back to it as readily because they have to play the other games and log in. Ooh, that's interesting. That's an interesting thought experiment.
Foreign publishers. When a game releases and is popular in its home regions, publishers from other countries approach the studio and offer to localize and market the game in their region. But in order to take the risk of investing in license fees and marketing costs, the publisher is going to want to make sure the game is as sticky and lucrative as possible.
Black Beacon anyone? Having two different publishers for like CN and Global?
The publisher dares not suggest changes to the actual game itself, as the game is already proven to be good. So the only way they have to juice the retention and monetization is through meta systems, which very easily stray into dark pattern territory. Finally, the entire games as a service industry measures the value of a game as a function of its daily active user count and its retention rates. If you're making
There we go. From the words of the devs themselves, of a dev themselves, it's all about how many players a day are playing your game and how long are they playing for. That is the only metric that is worth like any salt in this industry. How many players log in every day and how long are they there for? That's literally all that matters. That's crazy.
In a live service game, you're only going to be able to get funding if you have a solid plan to retain your users. That plan probably ends up
because if you get people, the reason being, you get people logging in every single day. Those are all potential customers. Every single time you log in is a time you might potentially spend money. So the more you log in and the longer you spend there, the more of a lucrative user you are. And that's what companies pay for when they want to fund games and live service games. That's the only metric that matters at the end of the day.
Involving some number of these dark patterns, because you have to compete against other games using these techniques. If you have a publisher or investor involved, they're probably going to want to see industry benchmarked retention and return from your game, and that is benchmarked against other games that are packed full of dark patterns. If you refuse to use dark patterns in your games, you're effectively competing with games that do use them, while operating at a disadvantage on the metrics that investors care about. This situation really sucks. While by definition, a dark pattern is a design that benefits the developer at the player's expense, some of the techniques mentioned in this video aren't entirely evil, and if clearly communicated and balanced fairly, wouldn't qualify as actual dark patterns. For example, it's pretty clear that escalating login streaks are quite manipulative, because players really want to avoid breaking their streak. But flat daily login rewards might be more acceptable to players because the penalty for not logging in is just missing one day of rewards. If those rewards
it's like dailies in a gacha. Like sometimes if you miss one daily in a gacha, it's not that bad. It's not like you're missing out on anything crazy for one day. You're not missing a huge amount of progress if you miss one a day. But if you have, like, I guess you could say the most extreme case would be the patch login rewards, you know, the pulls you get if you don't do them in time. But you don't need to log in every day to get those necessarily. But yeah.
Sufficiently generous, and the game is not manipulative elsewhere, players might be happy with that system. There are certainly players who really look forward to daily bonuses or special events in their favorite games and enjoy the structure and rewards that those bring, despite the drawbacks we've talked about. Some developers argue that a little psychological nudge can enhance enjoyment of the game, for example by encouraging players via rewards to explore parts of the game they wouldn't otherwise try out. Achievement systems are a common example of this. I previously talked about how time-limited events can be manipulative.
I feel like achievements aren't as big of a hook for most people. There are definitely those who love achievement hunting. Like, they want to get all the trophies, all the achievements 100%. Those definitely exist, but I don't think that's as strong as other practices, because I don't think it's not as tied to anything apart from personal accomplishment. But there are definitely people who love achievement hunting. But I feel that that's not really, that's more of a personal thing.
Often offer exclusive rewards that require a lot of work to unlock during a narrow time period and can take advantage of your fear of missing out. This is a problem when the event involves grinding out existing content, but honestly, isn't that bad when the event consists of interesting new content? For example, back in January of 2017, Blizzard celebrated the 20-year anniversary of Diablo 1's release by introducing a special event into Diablo 3. The Darkening of Tristram was an homage to Diablo 1 within the Diablo 3 engine, complete with a pixelization shader and a strict orthographic isometric projection like Diablo 1. Players got to play through this mini version of Diablo 1 with their Diablo 3 characters, and it was honestly pretty cool. Even cynical old me reinstalled Diablo 3 and had a fun time checking it out. It looks like they're still running this anniversary dungeon event annually since then. This was a very well executed example of a time-limited in-game event that was a net win for everyone. I have nothing to complain about there.
But then you have something I hate to be that person that always compares things to Genshin. You guys know I don't do that regularly at all. The first thing that came into my head was Dragonspine in Genshin. Like a limited time event that you could never do again. I just really don't like how that game never lets you go back to experience limited time events that were actually like important to the story. Like I just never understood that. That was just literally the first thing that came into my brain. But that kind of stuff I really don't like limiting cool stuff that people can't experience later. I think is not okay, especially if it has like actual lore and story reasons behind it and for it. I feel that's kind of bad.
On the other hand, time-limited events that don't introduce new content can be more dangerous. A number of years ago, a fellow game director told me a story about a live service game he was running. He wanted to increase player activity in the gaps between expansions, so he decided to try running a double experience weekend. It was a huge success and saw way more players playing than usual. After the weekend, however, player numbers dipped down below where they were before the weekend, so they ran another double experience weekend the following weekend. You can predict where the story went. After a while, people only played on those special weekends because playing on weekdays felt far less worthwhile in comparison. The game eventually shut down. While games that overuse dark patterns alienate their users and eventually see the opposite of the good retention they were aiming for, the primary victims of dark patterns are the players themselves. Players affected by dark patterns find themselves... I
wonder if we could apply that to any particular gacha game where some of these dark patterns actually just fatigue people overall. And I think for gacha games, the negative outcome is that what are devs incentivized on each patch? Right? If they're so focused on daily login and getting people to do that and player retention, what are they more focused on to achieve that rather than just make good content? I think that's where some might miss the mark or not see the forest for the trees a little bit, and where they could start to fall down in quality, focusing more about the must do every day versus what do people actually would enjoy, and come after logging in they can experience something, an event or story, and they come away from being like, I feel satisfied to have done this extra thing of this game and not just because I logged in. I think maybe there's risks of companies and those developers of doing that and kind of missing the point.
Compelled into behavior they wouldn't normally perform, whether that's making purchases they hadn't planned for, logging in on days they hadn't intended to play on, grinding content they wouldn't normally choose to grind, referring friends who might not have an interest in the game, or having to set an alarm at 4 a.m. to tend some crops. These actions have both an impact on their day-to-day life, but also reduce their enjoyment of the actual game itself. They often lead to feelings of anxiety, fear of missing out, commitment pressure, guilt, and frustration. The scary thing is, I'm an adult in my 40s who has spent his career working in live service games. I deeply know all about these tricks and still find them affecting me far more than I'm comfortable with. Imagine what it's doing to kids.
I feel like there comes a point where it's like, do you care enough? Like, you know you're being manipulated by these tricks, but how much does it affect your life? I think it's to the point where if you're sacrificing your sleep, your time, or relationships with other people because you must play these games, or you must log in, or you must succumb to these live service practices, then I think you can maybe reevaluate and be like, okay, this is kind of like an issue for me. But if it's not something that really affects your life too much, then it's not a big enough deal to care about or worry about. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about moderation. It's about moderating yourself. But there are some people, I know maybe some of you guys, that have like 10 games you log into every day. And you put an actual genuine burden of time on yourself to do that.
Who are incredibly vulnerable to the constant bombardment of gambling, compulsion, addiction, loss aversion, and anxiety-inducing dark patterns that these games contain. So far in this video, I've tried to offer a relatively neutral take on the pros and cons of these game design patterns. While they're called dark patterns and have a high potential for abuse, I've explained that some of them are moderately harmless if used in a way that provides a lot of value for players. But if you're watching my channel, you probably want my actual opinion on all of this. I put a lot of thought into this area because I used to run a live service game, and I frequently had to make decisions related to what design patterns were used for meta systems, retention mechanics, and monetization. So here's my current take on this topic. First of all, I think that pretty much...
do you know what? I respect the fact he's actually going to give his personal opinion. I kind of expected him not to, given the fact that he's a developer of games and did it himself. But the fact that he's actually being upfront and here's what he thinks about them, I actually mega respect.
Everything is fair game in terms of the actual design of the game itself. If a game is targeted at adults rather than children, I don't have a problem with people leaning on behavioral psychology research when designing the actual gameplay of the game and its reward systems within the game. Make your games fun, make them compelling, make people want to play them and want to return to them for their own merits. Your job as a game designer is to make a really fun game, and understanding how the human brain works is important for that. Players becoming invested in your game and deeply caring about their progression is a good thing. It's why people play games. But I draw the line at deploying dark patterns because they are related to retention systems, meta progression, and monetization. When I'm playing a game, I don't want to have a fear of missing out that makes me feel like I have to play frantically during time-limited events. I don't want to have to log into the game every single day to avoid breaking some stupid streak. I don't want to have to do some minimum amount of activity every day, otherwise I miss out on bonuses. I don't want to have to spam my friends to remind them to log in, otherwise I miss out on rewards. I hate all of this bullshit. When I was growing up, games were designed to be fun, not manipulative.
That's valid.
They didn't have literal behavioral scientists and psychologists on staff trying to rewire my brain. Look, I love the economic...
Hey guys, John, you have not logged into this game today. We cannot do this raid. You need to log in now. What are you doing? I need to stop. I know your children are hungry and your wife is crying, but I don't care. We must raid. Get online now, you bastard. Like, what?
Aspects of live service online games, but I just don't find myself enjoying most modern ones.
John's like, his children are throwing up everywhere. His children are throwing up. His wife is screaming, tears down her face. Why don't you love me? Look at our children. Why don't you care where? And then he's like, oh, I've got a fucking raid. I've got a fucking raid. I've got a raid. Like, it was fucking crazy.
Whenever I see daily tasks, seasonal events, and all the exclusivity FOMO, I just lose all hope that I'll actually enjoy playing the game, because I know that it'll be playing me. If you're a developer and really want to add retention mechanisms
John, I know your wife is dying from cancer, but join this raid real quick.
Too deeply into dark patterns, what can you do? Well, first of all, you should try to make your...
John, your kids are throwing up. You know what else you are throwing? This raid.
Game as fun as possible on its own merits, before relying on external meta mechanics to try to add engagement. Once you've done this, it's a matter of transparency, fairness, and respect for your players. Transparently communicate how things work and what players have to do in plain language. Avoid hidden gotchas that players are unaware of. For example, if you're using loot boxes, clearly communicate their drop rates. Try to ensure that optional challenges reward effort rather than attendance. Make sure that time-limited events last long enough for real-life schedules. Carefully consider whether rewards should be exclusive or whether you should have the event return with the same rewards later, giving players a chance to get them if they miss out this time.
Yes! That That, please.
It's worth thinking about the concept of time-agnostic gaming. Try not to care about when a player plays your game. Some people can't game every day, but have lots of time available on the weekends. It's unfair if the progress they make is slower than someone who manages to log in every day to claim some type of login reward. So that's been a tour through the dangerous world of dark patterns. As game developers, we have an obligation to think very carefully before we employ strategies like these. Push back and make sure that the reason you're adding something is because it's actually adding more fun, rather than because it'll artificially create more retention or juice some other metric. As gamers, we also have an obligation to push back. If you want more game in your games and less bullshit...
If you want more gay... Why? He lingered on that. As if it's me, he lingered. If you want more gay in your game... Wait, I'm not crazy.
You also have an obligation to push back. If you want more game in your...
Why did he say it like that? If you want more gay... If you want more gay... If you want gay in your game...
Your games and less bullshit, make sure that you communicate this to developers. Your money and attention are precious. Spend them wisely. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Honestly, that was a great video. I think I've known about the dark pattern stuff for a while, but to hear it being broken down from like a developer, I think is actually really cool. I think that's really cool. This was a W. I'm a fan. I'm gonna subscribe. That's a great video from a dev themselves, and them giving their opinion at the end made me very happy. I appreciate this video, and I appreciate you guys, and I'd appreciate you even more if you subscribed. Just hit the button. It's really easy, it's really simple, and it helps me out massively. And then you know what else helps? If you leave a comment down below what you thought, and if you do, your PP will grow at least 1.5 inches today. I know we're getting 50% extra today, which is crazy. So I appreciate you all. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next time. Peace. All right, there we go. Nice. We should all quit woo-woo protests of dark patterns. This Spidius is so done with woo-woo, bro. Bro's out. He's done. He's like, nah, I'm good. He's like, nah, I'm dead. Sub button abuse. Hey, listen, what can I say? Also, by the way, I just want to say, since like 2.8 as well, and like even a little bit before that, I feel like, and I'm getting back into like my schedule of like streaming and making content again. I thank you for like enjoying the streams and the content. Like I was kind of worried about coming back and like, oh god, like my viewership's gonna be tanked and all that stuff, and it kind of did for a couple days. But now I think we're back on schedule, and I appreciate everyone kind of returning to the stream a little bit and enjoying the content, and it makes me very appreciative, because I was like, I felt a bit like, I done something wrong, but like we're honestly, I'm happy, I'm pleased, thank you. I thought about it yesterday, and I was like, oh shit, people are actually curious and interested, and it was great. It's good. So I'm glad we're back on schedule. So genuinely thank you if you've like followed recently. Like if you've been following, if you've been whatever on all the platforms, I appreciate it. Thank you. It tanked, not gonna lie, it tanked quite a bit for a while, but we're back. Yeah, I was just doing a lot of like really short streams, very inconsistent, extremely late at night, like all those things. So I'm glad we're back on track, and I appreciate. Fuck you. Fuck you. Bro, I think bro's unfollowed and followed me like 300 times. 300 times. So guys, shall I just, okay, I could do another react, or I could play Chaos Zero Nightmare, or I could watch Smack's video. Can we get a poll? Wait, hold up, I'll do a poll. What do we want? Do I just play Chaos Zero Nightmare, or do we watch Smack? Wait, hold up. What do? CZN or Smack? What do we want? There's a poll. There's a poll. What do I play Chaos Zero Nightmare for the rest of the stream, or do I watch Smack's react? What do you guys want? Vote now. Free John raid. Vote for John. Vote for John. Vote now with your penis. I'm only here to even out the... Fuck you. Don't balance it. Don't be cringe. Don't be I know that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, I appreciate the follow, man. Don't be fucking cringe. Don't okay. This isn't a fucking fob stream, okay? This isn't a fob stream. This is a cap stream where we're intelligent individuals who engage our brains in order to make good takes and things and whatever. Come on, chat, no. No. Vote for John so he can suck your dick. I don't think John is gonna suck your penis. That's if he is. I mean, I'll get hard for him. You know what I mean? Like fucking. I feel like you know what? I don't have a penis. Ignore that. That was not a thing. Intelligent. I'll look at Athoma's logs from today. Yeah, I saw that. He got his dick stuck in a PVC pipe or something, or he pulled it out his ass. I saw that. I haven't done the story yet. Got a dip with 1% volume. No worries, man. Well, you don't know. You gotta vote to find out. Vote for John so he can grab that pussy. Okay. I guess we're watching Smack. Honestly, Smack and Saint are down bad. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck does down bad? What do you mean? Down bad for what? What do you mean by that? What the fuck does that mean? Okay, I guess we'll watch Smack's video. I'm not gonna make a react out of this. I'm just curious to hear what he says. I feel like I'd probably agree with a lot. Down bad for John. Okay. Their story take. Okay. Guys, I need to go piss. I need to go piss. Let me go piss. And then look, I've been drinking a lot today. I'm gonna go piss and then I'll be right back. What can y'all could stare at you could stare at Chisha for a minute. There you go. Yeah, stare at the woman. I'll be right back. Oh. I'm back. Picking it up. I just realized my roots are growing in really quickly now. Look at that. Look at that. Look how, bro, my roots are growing in so fast. I'm gonna have to get them done. Holy shit. It don't look good. It don't look good. It's gonna be expensive. I don't want to do them on my own. God, Cheetah looks so good. God damn. She is very good. She's very good. Alright. Okay. So, welcome. The Queen done pissing? Yes, ma'am. Might be my best pull since Cardothea. Hell yeah, I'm glad you like her. I'm glad you enjoy her. I'm reading a story, a currently on Augusta's story. Nice. Alright. Let's take a look at Gadgetsmack's opinion and his critique on the story. Oh. Yo! What the MJ? What the fuck, yo? Hi, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. What the fuck? Thank you, man. Thank you. Are you looking? Is this your petition to be for an account review? Is that what this is? I got 2 spots. Can I finally help out? Yo, I appreciate it. Thank you, man. Thank you. Would you like an account review? I'm doing 5 subs account reviews. I got 2 slots left. Yeah, account roast is gonna be lit. I mean, I didn't even know, but yeah, sure. You know what? Hey, you did 5 subs. How could I not? MJ. I don't even know if you still play Wooa, but I'm more than down if you would like one. But I appreciate it. Thank you, man. All right. So we're going to be looking at Gadgetsmack's the most fair criticism I could provide to 2.8 story. He got a lot of heat for the way he reacted to the story while he was streaming it, and the responses that therefore followed and people's reactions to that. People thought his reaction was quite inflammatory and maybe a bit too aggressive. And people kind of match that energy in response. But now he is sat down, and when Unk is kind of like locked in, usually he comes up with some pretty good points. So I would love to see what exactly he has to say. I feel like I probably mirror a lot of them. If you guys don't know, I didn't make a video, but you can go back and watch my VOD like 2 days ago or a day ago, where I broke down exactly where I felt the part 1 of the story specifically fell short for me. So if you want to see my opinion, you can go back and watch. Didn't feel the need to make a whole video, but it's there if you want to go see. And we're going to take a look at what Unk has to say about the 2.8 story.
Boys and girls, you have my word. I am not here to do a I'm right about 2.8. It sucks. I am not here to tell people that if they enjoyed it, it's because you're a loser.
Nice.
I'm not here to do that.
We're getting off on the good foot.
I have thought deeply about why I didn't like this story. And I have thought deeply why others did not enjoy it. I have done a number of things to try and get down to the bottom of this, because one thing I always state is many people will tell you something sucks or something is good, but they actually are horrible at communicating precisely why they thought that was the case. And
valid.
I found the answers. I have actually found why I hated 2.8 the first half, thought it was a 2 out of 10, and why I actually enjoyed the second.
Unfortunately, however, there will always be a group of people, even if you can list the reasons of why you personally didn't like it, there will always be a group who are like, okay, but does that matter though? Or those reasons are nitpicky, or do those reasons even matter? Like, there'll be reasons that might matter to you and not matter to other people. So you will still get dumbasses who will be like, oh, but that's just like nitpicky. Like, who cares? You shouldn't really care about it. It's not that deep. Like, those people will still exist. Even if you literally give them, here is why I didn't like it and I thought it was not okay, like objectively to me. People will be like, oh, but you shouldn't think about it too deeply. Not that deep. You're still, no matter what, you could explain it till you're blue in the face, and there'll be people who still want to combat you and be combative.
Can have much more, but still was like, who cares? Who gives a fuck? All I'd strive to do here is provide insight for both sides to maybe see why one side may like it and why one side didn't. Because through research, through constant patience and education, you can kind of figure these things out. Now, there's one big problem that I want to start with 2.8. It was exposition dumping. And you know what's crazy? I've heard a lot of people say this to me in the comment section as a response to a review I gave. And they're like, you know what the problem is, Smack? It's exposition dumping. But I never actually stopped to go and research what they mean by that. I know it like kind of inherently, but I then looked up the definition. And the definition here says, It's a conversation in which characters provide necessary background information to the audience, such as details about their history, setting, or plot. And that clicked on me immediately. I was like, oh my God.
When
that is a big problem.
Good story, to me, good story writing is when you learn about the backstory and things about a character by going through the motions with them, and you learn them over time. When a character is just there and very quickly they tell you, this is what I feel, this is what I experienced, this is what I went through, that is exposition dumping. You're just simply telling a story, and that happens a lot in gacha. And then I will often see people who are like more of the lore side of things go on Twitter and then say things like, this character has such like a deep backstory and all these things happen to them. And then I feel like, well, why don't I necessarily care about it that much? And it's because it's the way it gets conveyed. Just because that is their backstory doesn't mean that I necessarily feel it, because what matters is the way that that story is communicated to you and how you get there. If you're just because you're told it and it exists doesn't mean I then have to think it's compelling of a story. I have to feel it and experience it, which is why exposition dumping on a story doesn't necessarily help you, and you have to go through the motions to really feel the impact. So you will see people all the time being like, oh, but all this lore happened, you found out all this backstory about this character. Sometimes that doesn't matter if the impact of how it's told to you isn't there.
Gacha games, particularly Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact, they are terrible at introducing you, by the way, very important elements of a story. This is the thing about the exposition.
Oops. Hello? Oopsie. Oops. Right, we're back. Oopsie, we're back. Hello. I don't know why I disconnected there. That was kind of cringe. Hello, we back? Elon! Yeah. Gachas are typically pretty bad for this, and the reason they can be pretty bad is because they only really have like 1 to 2 hours per like quest, especially for Wuthering Waves, because they tend to be shorter than say like Genshin or Honkai Star Rail. They only have between 1 to 2, maybe 3 hours to tell a whole story about a character most of the time, because we have the character or their companion story, then we move on to another part of the arc or the quest. So we don't always have companion quests all the time. Like Yuno's quest was tied into the main story, now Chissa tied into 2.8. They don't have a lot of time, so you end up finding that they exposition dump a lot and just kind of show you and tell you backstory rather than going through it in a compelling way, because there's limited time. It's a consequence of the overall gameplay loop and not necessarily because they are trying to make bad writing, but it doesn't lead to the best story writing.
Then it just comes off as excessive information overload, and it's in a static sense where you can't even appreciate what's being said anymore because your mind is waning at all the information overload. Now, what is missing? What's the recipe in that formula piece that's missing to keep you locked in? It's the other fucking party giving responsive feedback to the exposition being conveyed through a banter sense.
This, bro, Smack is my goat. Smack, you are now becoming my goat. This is exactly why I didn't like 1.3 Shorekeeper Quest. Because Rover never responded to Shorekeeper. He didn't say much to her in the entire quest, and I'm supposed to be compelled of a thing between them. That is took the words out of my mouth of exactly what I kept saying about something like 1.3. Like, I couldn't find it compelling because the other party was not responding in a natural way, and it annoyed me so much, and everybody else thought I was crazy. Everybody thought I was crazy for saying something like that. Oh, Smack, you're my goat. You're my goat.
And I learned this by going back and watching Final Fantasy VII Remake, the scene where Cloud and Aerith are on the rooftops walking through Midgard and just filling each other out, having banter, but at the same time, you're learning about Midgard, about that area that they're in, soaking in the world and atmosphere behind them. But you're also learning the personality of Cloud, how he responds to certain things, the personality of Aerith, how they're filling each other out. And you're starting to see a bond be formed, and it's evolving through this transaction.
Was responding consistently though, but the way he's responding in a forced environment, right? When you have that bonding time with like Chissa, it's like, okay, here's the terrace top. This is the time where you have to get to know about the character. It's in a very set place that felt like you were kind of a scripted, forced event to be there to understand information. We're talking about going through something naturally. Like maybe we're actually collecting all the longings with Chissa. And we learn about her through actually going through the motions with her, but not in a forced like environment where now is the only time where we have to find something out about you, right? If this isn't nitpicking, I don't know what is. This is not nitpicking at all. This is a reality of story writing that happens in a lot of these gaches, and I'm very glad that he's pointing it out.
And then when any sentimental moments happen, you're able to appreciate them, cheesy or cringy or not, because you saw that bond being formed through that merry little adventure and experience
100%.
of exposition formed through the dialogue of communications. What I learned in 2.8 is when you're watching...
But how would you do that with a quiet girl like Chissa? There are so many ways. There are so many ways of like getting a quiet person to speak without just like forcing them in one location, having to have like a dialogue like that. You can go, like a quiet person trusts you over time and is willing to open up in conversation as you're doing things together. The same thing happens. You can have the same exact thing.
So talk with Rover. It's just Chissa explaining everything about the city, how she got there, why she's there, so on and so forth. Very important things, by the way, very important things. And Rover is a half mute, and all of his lines are one-liners responding to her venting in a perfect fashion or responding to the exposition in a like objective sense. But there's no fucking connection really being established here. It's just, I'm gonna tell you everything, you're gonna listen, maybe respond sometimes.
And that's why the whole self-insert thing happens, right? Because people, it's like Chissa is talking to you, the player, not Rover. That's why it's made this way. And people just care about what Chissa has to say. A lot of people don't care about the response Rover might give. They just care about what Chissa has to say to them. And that's why to a lot of people, they don't care that Rover might not talk back as much.
Maybe answer my question with another question. But there's not actual dialogue in the...
I hope Smack goes back and looks at the 1.3 Shorekeeper story and he sees the exact same problem. And this has happened forever with Woowa. This is nothing new. This has been the case for so many of the patches beforehand.
In a natural sense. And this, once you understand this and you go through that quest again, you'll start to see, at least if you're being fair, why so many people were like, oh my fucking God, bro, I'm over this. I can't. My mind is exhausted because there's no real adventure and connection.
There's a level of truth to this because the response Rover can give is anime related. Rover isn't gonna know what the fuck anime is. It was very clear itself as exactly like they had inserts into the story that's made for just the player, the breaking the fourth wall kind of stuff.
Being formed through these two parties. It's just exposition. He says a one-liner that's perfect response to her venting, her lack of confidence and insecurities. He says another one-liner to how they can overcome things. And then you see these sentimental, intimate moments that don't feel earned at all. At least they didn't show it through the playthrough at all. You just see them and people are like, cinema, not everybody, right? But a lot of people, cinema, great, amazing, and all this. And I came to realize, and I'm not trying to downplay your enjoyment. I genuinely thought about it. I say, you know what this tells me is that this is just a matter of, I would say it's like a skill issue, right? I would say a lot of us can't consume that type of story the way some of y'all can. Some of y'all can handle a exposition dump with no natural occurrence of real
some people could just take story at face value and be like, oh, that's really cool or dope, but some people need a reason to care. That's exactly what I say. I felt like the romance with Chisa wasn't earned. I felt like I literally said so many times, even while I was playing it, I didn't feel like I had earned the intimacy with Chisa. I'm on smack with this one. I feel like I operate on a similar wavelength with this.
You in dialogue and still
a romance like slice of life-esque, the intimacy. I won't say romance then because people get annoyed with that now. The intimacy you have with her, I felt like was unearned. That's how I felt.
Again, the information that's being conveyed and appreciate it and lock yourself into it. I watched Marco Meatball do that shit and I was impressed. I was like, holy, how the fuck is he still enjoying it? That's impressive. But I wasn't interested in trying to downplay him. I just wanted to understand how he was enjoying it. And I think it's fascinating because I was like, so he's able to still receive the information, digest it, and be empathetic without all of these elements that I've come to learn and love from other stories that bring out that. They can bring it out. There's basically some people out there who can still enjoy that, even though it doesn't have those pivotal, engaging moments from both parties and such. There was other problems with this story, like transitions and shit, where I was like, what the hell? Why we transition from this to that? That was odd. And that takes away my immersion, my sense of immersion, as I'm sure many others. But for other people, doesn't bother them a bit.
Exactly what I was saying. To some people, it doesn't matter enough for them to care. For some, it doesn't matter enough for them to care. But for others, it's a thing you notice and it could be jarring. That's exactly how I felt. Like at the end of part 1, it happened so quickly. It was so jarring to me. I didn't believe that we'd solved the problem that was ahead of us. Those fireworks going off, we'd solved everything. I was taking the piss. I was like, yeah, there's no way. Oh, it's gonna be a bait. Because I genuinely thought that it couldn't be over, and it was. And it sapped my enjoyment at that point because I just couldn't appreciate what I was seeing anymore. But there were some people who just, that's cool. We defeated the boss and it's solved, and then that's good. But for some people can deal with that and some people can't, and that's just why I was saying, if you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you. If you didn't, then that's fine. And I think we should just be a bit more tolerant of both sides of this case.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I want to make sure we're clear here. I'm not attacking. I'm not trying to make sure you guys are wrong and I'm right. I'm trying to find a common ground here. I want to show off some of the things I just communicated to you so you could see precisely what it is I'm talking about. Okay, so I want to watch two different things. I've got timestamps of moments where I show off, where I was telling you there's no bond being formed here. It's just him objectively responding and shit. And then I want to show you off Cloud and Aerith going through these rooftops. And there's a massive difference and a bond being formed through the banter they're having as they're going through the city. By the way, you're exploring the city too and taking that in. Versus this, where you're in this coffee shop and they're just sitting there, one person sitting there yapping about exposition, important stuff, and the other person is hardly involved at all. So let's go ahead and look at this part right here. He just responded. She said, "Can I ask how you got here?" He objectively responds, "A rift opened up. A hand came out of it and dragged me in." That's an objective response.
A hand from a rift? But why didn't that person escape themselves? Why pull you in instead?
Take a quick break here before we respond, because I want to make sure we are understanding precisely my issue of what's getting ready to happen. First of all, ask yourself, in this sense right here, a hand from a rift, why didn't that person escape themselves? Why pull you instead? Let me tell you how I respond. I don't know. Beats me. I'm about as in the know as you are on that matter, but all I know is I'm here now. This place looks kind of cool. How about you show me around? Man, these are beautiful. That's like real dialogue happening,
real
between
conversation,
two human beings,
real
right?
Conversation.
To be honest, it beats me. I know about as much as you do about this situation. This is what Rover says.
What exactly is this place?
He answers her question with another question. A hand from a rift, but why didn't that person escape themselves?
I'm so happy. And I'm so glad that Smack is noticing this now, because this has always been the case. This has always been the case, bar maybe a couple times in like 2.4 and 2.2 where Rover actually spoke a bit more. It's always been, and he's finally noticed it. I noticed it back in 1.3. And I spoke about it at length of, I don't, like, Rover is not talking, like, or responding like a normal person, right? Remember when, like, Shorekeeper's revealing that, like, she's known Rover for so long, and she's been waiting for him to come back. Rover has a blank stare and is just like, okay. He doesn't have this a normal person would be like, oh my god, this person knows me for so long and I've known them and then they've been a big part of everything. Like, they would have some kind of mental struggle, and they never did. And that's why I was like, this is so unbelievable. I can't get behind this, like, this relationship between them. And everybody said I was crazy. Everybody said I was nuts I was crashing out for not enjoying it. I'm thinking too deeply about it. That all this. But now Smack is saying the exact same things that I was saying about 1.3. Ooh.
You and Stan.
My God.
Instead, what exactly is this place? It's like, bro, what? And so it's just like, but like I said, some people don't even pay attention to that. They're just locked in on the conversation, not actually asking, why is that unnatural ass response even occurring right there? Like, where's the real response at? And I've come to learn, maybe I just can't do stories where they have this mute who has these objective responses and shit, because I can't find a real sense of connection that's occurring there and get invested.
I think it's pretty clear through the story that Rover is not normal. Why are you assuming Rover is a normal person? I think you're now trying to look for an excuse why he has poor response dialogues. I really feel like you're just looking for any excuse now to justify why Rover doesn't talk with any sort of compelling way back to the audience or back to this dialogue.
You in instead.
What exactly is this place?
Yeah, so like that threw me for a loop, but we'll continue on, right? So we transition from that once again. No, like, I feel like there wasn't even a need for a transition there, if I'm being completely honest. I think what could have happened is they could have just walked outside and panoramicked into showing off the map as she answers that question. But the transition just like almost encourages you to disengage from these two forming any kind of bond.
You're in Honami, a city that was destroyed decades ago. You'll still see its name on bus stop signs, in street ads, and in local textbooks for kids.
And so here's the exposition. I think they're doing a beautiful job showing off the presentation of it and such, right? But watch, it just continues and continues, and there's no conversation occurring from Rover at all. And this, I'm gonna be real, this is the majority of how everything is communicated in the quest. So she then proceeds to say, remember that tall tower, the one in the center of the city? That was Neon Tower, Hanami's tallest communication facility. I once saw a billboard for a radio show there. Voices in the morning, broadcast citywide from Neon Tower. And no response from Rover yet, but its last broadcast wasn't a morning greeting. It was the lament. Records showed that on that day of the disaster, it came pouring out of Neon Tower, wiping Honami off Solaris entirely and sealing it inside the Sonoro sphere. So again, she's explaining some very important stuff, guys. Like, she's definitely doing her job here. But my question,
I'm gonna be honest, people just want to hear Chissa talk to them about stuff and they're happy. I think that's what a lot of people are like. They're just very content with Chissa telling them everything because that's what they're here to play the patch for. They're here to play the patch for Chissa and what she has to offer them. You know, she's the character you pull for. She's the thing people are coming back to play the game for. She's the reason people are coming back. People are just happy that she's talking and giving her screen time to talk. I genuinely think that's what a lot of people just care about. I'm not saying that as a negative, by the way. That's not a bad thing. I genuinely think people like the fact that she is talking because that's why you came back on patch day to play the story, to listen to Chissa. That is why, and that's the more of the interest of the people playing.
Is why can't this stuff be explained through the adventure of being inside of this city with this girl. Why are you giving me scenes of the city and presentations of the city when we're in the city already? Like, this makes sense when you're in a setting that isn't the locale you're currently in, so you want to show that off to give a bit of a view of it. But we're here right now. Why not adventure through it, have a conversation with the two to form dialogue and bonding, and that connection, by the way, that then leads up to Chisa trauma dumping on you and venting because she now feels more close to doing so, versus none of that happens. She just exposition dumps and then does the trauma dumping and shit anyway. It's just like, I can't get invested in this type of story when this is their means of doing it. But let's continue on, because there's even more of where I want to show off of this stuff. By the way, as we're doing this, I want to show off the song that's being played in the back.
But don't worry, you're safe here. This coffee house is a safe zone I created using my clipping porte. The location is ideal and the space stable, so I made it our base of operations.
Your clipping forte?
Everything has a structure, and
I just can't, guys. And that song is depressing as fuck when you have this kind of dialogue. It's like she's explaining so much to him. This coffee house is a safe zone I created using my clipping forte.
Rover seems, at that moment, Rover is a conduit for just like, he's asking a question that the player wants to know about it. Not what he should or would normally respond to when someone's talking like this. He's just asking a question for the player's sake, not for his sake as a character. That's the big difference. Rover talks for the player's sake and not for the sake of his character. And that is the downfall of his writing in a lot of scenarios.
Coach and ideal, the space stable, so I made it our base of operations. This city.
The music take I don't really care that much about, but his take about Rover's response, I do.
This is how.
Seems a nitpicky take from Smack. It's valid though. The music one is whatever. That's his take. You could agree or not, but his take of like the way Rover responds is valid. He's speaking for the player's expense and for them, not from the perspective of him as a character.
How it transpired. This is what happened. The only line, guys.
Your clipping forte?
I'm just like, bro. And so once again, there's people out there who can just lock in on this and stay immersed. Me? I'm like, bro, this is boring. This conversation is boring as fuck.
I felt the same.
Not the exposition that she's telling us about, but the conversation these two parties are having. I'm like, I can't. And this is majority of how you're going to be consuming it. And you have this big, beautiful city with these beautiful backdrops, flowers and trees,
very
and such,
pretty,
that you could be adventuring while these two have their banter, and you fill out the personalities, and then you start to see that evolving connection occur. Instead, you're in this damn coffee shop the entire time.
everything has a structure.
A lot of the time, not the entire time. That's not true, but a lot of the time.
These, I can see how it all fits together. Inside this Sonoro, time and space are brittle. With enough resonance energy, I can trace their threads and cut through them. That's what I did earlier. I cut through the gaps in space to bring you close to the base.
When I was in the center of the city right before the lament hit.
It's just always an objective response. Like, where is the connection, guys?
Rover's just mega autistic.
Guys, where, like, I'm genuinely asking this. Where is the bond? Where is the moments that led up to the trauma dumping? Like, legitimate, like, connection where.
That's exactly why I said the bond moments on the terrace just felt unearned. I felt like we hadn't gotten there with her yet.
A girl goes, okay, you know what? I want to now, like, get a deeper connection with this person, and I want to share some stuff. Where is it? I'm gonna be honest with you. It doesn't exist outside of the one-liners and the perfect responses. You're not in this alone. You know what I mean? Like, these are moments that, here's the best way to put it. The moments that actually lead up to it are moments that aren't even earned, right? If he would say things like, you're not alone, we're in this together. Here's the best way to put it. The moments that actually lead up to it are moments that aren't even earned.
My goat.
Right? If
I think I'm just on the exact same wavelength as Smack when it comes to his thoughts about this. Like, I could not agree more. I genuinely could not agree more, and this is exactly what I've been saying for a while.
If he would say things like, "You're not alone, we're in this together, you can trust me," after an adventure of bond being formed, of like talking shit to one another and filling each other out, it wouldn't be as cringe. It'd be earned and it'd be appreciated, at least by me and many other people who didn't like it.
Oh, it literally word for word what I was saying. It just was not an earned experience. I said that so many times. So many times. It simply wasn't an earned experience. I'm so glad he's mentioning this. I genuinely feel like I'm not crazy. I mean that legit. I genuinely feel like I'm not crazy. Like I for so long, like all the way back from 1.3 when Rover did the exact same thing with Shorekeeper, and I was like, guys, he's not responding like a normal person. I don't feel like I've earned this intimacy with his character, so I couldn't get compelled to belong with it. Oh no, but you're crazy. No, it was peak. It was absolute cinema. You're wrong. This take is trash. I feel like I'm being heard. This is great. I'm having a great time.
But there's
with this video.
never any of that. It's like basically strictly business, just locking in and going straight to those moments. I'm like, I can't do this. And so I want to make sure we're clear here. This is why I hated this shit. I'm not saying this is why you should hate it. I'm just explaining why I didn't like it.
But people, unfortunately, will still nitpick. There will still be people, but does that really matter? But you didn't like that thing, but does that really matter? And that's okay. Guess what? That's fine. If like you said at the beginning, if you enjoyed it, good. We're happy for you. I genuinely, if no one is going to tell you that you can't enjoy something, right? So if you enjoyed it, amazing. Like great. But I really feel these are like valid reasons. But if it's something that doesn't apply to you and you don't need it, it's okay.
The thing I want to point out, this song.
For the past 2 months, I've lived through countless repeats.
Hold on, I'm gonna let her cook.
Time and space keep getting sliced up and rearranged.
Twitter will tell you that. Twitter is just a cesspit. Who cares about Twitter?
I don't think she said a single thing that hasn't been relevant to the story we're in, by the way. I think everything she stated has been very important. It's just the way it's being conveyed. It's just like, okay, man.
Again, it's the same thing. If we're talking about Twitter people, there are people on Twitter who will say, like I said this earlier, but she has said all these things and she has all this story. So that's very deep and it's meaningful because all this stuff happened to her. But just simply saying that exists does not make it compelling. I could sit here and give you like a character could stand in position and just tell you their whole backstory. And it could be, in theory, very tragic. But if you don't write it out properly, it's not compelling. But a lot of people will be like, yeah, but look at all this lore behind them. Why don't you like it? Look at their lore and what it's all about. Just because the lore exists doesn't mean it's compelling. It's also the way you tell it, because this is a game. This is a game. It's a game experience, and that matters. And that matters.
It's like the whole city's trapped in amber. The people here are caught in one moment, reliving the same day over and over.
Like I said, as you're listening to that track in the back, I think you might be able to see why it sounds depressing to me. I'm like,
it said the track is sending bro to sleep. Other people are getting sad. Sending bro to sleep.
Exposition dump. Show off the city instead of us exploring the city and adventuring into it. Rover says one line. Transition. Instead of adventuring, transition. Fight off some mobs. Trauma dump, venting, cringe moments that aren't earned at all.
I have more of a problem, not necessarily with the whole Chissa thing, but the actual like gameplay experience of going through 2.8 annoyed me so much. The actual like how we play the game was so bothersome to me and took me out of it.
Not in my perspective. I think you get the point there, because I'm gonna be honest, that goes on for quite some time. And you know, I'm gonna spare you guys this fucking disaster of Nami Pop. He makes what's already starting to become mind waning and just exposition overload. He quadruples that mind-waning experience with that slow-ass talking. I dare say this little Nami-pon is the single-handed reason why I couldn't like finish the dialogue of first half. I just started skipping. I said, fuck this, I'm done. I'm over this. I can't do it. I'm completely over. And I made it quite far in, by the way. I didn't just like start.
Also, this story with Nami-pon, didn't really make that much sense. They were a mascot of the area, and the lament happened, and it gave them a physical form, but the lament also tore apart their existence and was the reason why they couldn't find the coordinates to the Neon Tower. But then suddenly we go on one trip, and now we have enough longings and feelings to find the Neon Tower, and it's really important, and then we're just there, and then there's so many things about the actual story beats that like really grated me and pissed me off, but that's not what we're talking about right now. But Nami-pon,
I found it. Do you want to take a breather on the terrace? Sure.
Nami-pon is just a plot device to progress story. That's just cute. That's it.
This is the part I got to where I was like, okay, I'm over this, bro. I can't do this no more. So they get to the rooftop, and I eventually am just like, nah, bro, I'm out. I'm done. Yeah, you can see me. This
wasn't earned.
Right, bro. I'm over this, dog. I can't do this shit no more. But it's basically a bunch of exposition dump to like summarize it up. Now I want you guys to watch this right here.
I've never played Final Fantasy.
I'm not saying it's the best story of all time. I just want you to see what I wish could have happened in that story. And by the way, there's a lot of gripes I have with 2.8. I just want to talk to you about the main thing that just made me go, I'm done, bro. I'm over this shit. I don't care. I don't care about the romantic or sentimental. If you don't think it's romantic, sentimental moments that occurred and the build up towards them, don't give a fuck about none of it.
Shall we mosey on over?
So this is a scene of Aerith and Cloud. You might not have seen it. It is a spoiler. If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII Remake, you might not want to watch this part. But I mean, it's not too crazy of a spoiler, actually.
I'll forget.
It's not like
I have crippling ADHD. I will forget in 5 seconds.
Going through some rooftops.
This was a bad example.
And getting to know one another.
I'm pretty sure Smack's like a big Final Fantasy fan, isn't he? So
this is privated on my channel. I know there's going to be some people asking, "Hey, Smack, where's the playthrough?" It's privated.
So, what's next for you?
A little bit of bodyguard work.
Right.
After that, it's back to the Sector 7 slums.
You know how to get there?
Yep.
Of course you do.
Want to turn it up a little bit more?
That suit from earlier. He was one of Shinra's Turks. What's a Turk want with you?
Dunno. Hey, don't Turks keep an eye out for potential soldiers and stuff?
They do more than just scout for candidates. Turks get called in to handle all kinds of situations with extreme prejudice.
Professional bad guys. Gotta love them.
Back to my question. So what's he to you? Looked like you knew each other.
Maybe he thought I could be the greatest soldier yet.
Forget it.
You mad?
The "you mad" question is so fucking annoying.
Do you know what this is? I think this is less about they're merely going through, like, not the city, wherever this area is. I think it's literally more to do with the fact their conversation is just way more natural. I think he uses as an example because maybe it's just popped in his head and he's a big Final Fantasy fan, whatever it may be. I legit think this is better simply because it's just a naturally progressing conversation that doesn't feel like you're talking to a robot. And that's why it's just better. Like, you could, and also, like,
I'm gonna play a little bit more, guys. I'm trying not to conversation because I want you guys to soak it in. You could do stuff
while listening. Yeah, you're moving around. You, the player, are playing the game. What you are here to do, you are playing the game while the story is happening around you. And Wooer is actually falling down this path, and it did a lot with 2.8, where you don't actually play the game and the story gets told to you. It's like you do actions, then you stop, and then story happens, and then you do something, and and then you stop and story happens. What we really want is a story to happen around you playing the game. Have that mixed in with some normal, natural conversations, and what do you get? A better storytelling experience. We don't want we're going back into old habits. We really don't.
I just want you to see, this is how you form a connection between two parties.
You
don't
actually
sit there and let one
do
person
things with
talk
them.
somebody's fucking
You have a
ear off the
reason to
entire
earn
time.
their
The other
trust
person
and
never
their
says anything
friendship
at all.
and why
Like,
they would
it's
trust
subjective
you.
responses and stuff. Like, you want that sentimental music in the background to hit hard while you're
100%.
doing this sentimental moment between two people, or trying to form that and make this whole thing like a rom-com experience, or you know, a deep, intimate experience. This is how you do it, bro. This is how you do it.
2.2
You
with
want to
Card, the
explain
Waterways, great
personal,
example.
like, I mean, important expositions. You explain it through natural dialogue between the parties. And in doing so, that's not only like knocking that out, it's also showing you the bond that's being formed between the two and how they feel about each other, the reactions. They're filling each other out, right? The connection is occurring right now.
Honestly, now that you pointed it out, 2.2 with Car and the Waterways, I legit think that this was just rushed. I do. From everything, from the integrating the exploration mechanics into the story and then scrapping it, from the weird transitions to everything else, I legit think they just didn't have enough time, or the same amount of time, to put into this as the others, and that's the reason why. Because Wu is capable of it. I legit think they just didn't place that much stock as they used to.
And you're learning about the open world, the world building.
So
You're learning
crazy
about
to
everything.
believe that.
I don't want it. Shut up, bro. Don't shut up, bro.
I actually haven't traveled by rooftop before.
Be surprised if you had.
It's honestly kind of exciting.
Well, first time and all.
Yuno's Quest is a perfect example of this, and you know what? I didn't like Yuno's Quest either, for similar reasons. Because not for the lack of interaction between characters, but the fact that Woowa does this thing where they'll introduce concepts that you just have to accept. The chaos, the threads of time. They introduce concepts you just have to go, okay, and accept it exists and just deal with it. And that annoys me too. That's another thing that Woowa does I don't like.
So this dialogue is naturally explaining to you that Aerith is not like a badass. She's not like a tomboy. She's clearly a pretty girl, right? In gacha games, they'll just explain that to you without showing it naturally. This is a prime example of the show and tell you always want to see. The show, not tell, my bad. You'll learn by the dialogue of the characters. That's it.
That's how exposition works. But you are misunderstanding. If you were talking about me saying the chaos I think was a bad thing, that is not exposition. Purely telling the user, hey, here's a concept that seems pretty important to the overall world, but we never go back or revisit it or ever really explain anything much about it. You just kind of have to accept it's a thing. To me, that is poor world building. It's world building, but it's poor. This music is really pretty, by the way. Like, it's very like.
Wait! Give me
pretty.
a moment. Don't just run off on your own.
The air is ugly. Yeah, the area
words of a
doesn't match
soldier
the
candidate.
music. It's way too like upbeat.
I think you guys get my point. I could watch this whole scene, by the way. I could watch it all the way up until because the dialogue is what I really wanted you guys to pay attention to.
So, does no one live in these buildings?
Nope. No one to get mad if we make noise.
So we just learned another thing. Nobody lives in those buildings. You know what I mean? But you're learning it through the adventure.
Looks kinda rusty.
I'll go first. It's pretty old. Be careful.
Okay.
It's buffering.
Easy now.
I don't know what's wrong with my
Don't worry
stuff.
too much. I'm not some princess who needs to be
Your
coddled.
stream's a bit cooked. My stream's cooked. Oh, bollocks. I don't know what's up today. Sorry, I don't know what's happening. Hello, my bad. Oops. That's not cool. That's not cool. Might be fixed. Back. Had to low resolution, but still lagging. We're back. I apologize. I haven't had internet issues in like months. That's crazy. My bad. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Sorry. Sorry. The story enjoyers got me. They pulled out my Ethernet. The story.
Shit.
I pray, if you're being fair, you see precisely what I'm talking about, though.
I see what he means.
You're learning her personality without her trauma dumping, without Cloud doing one-liners and shit. You're learning the connection between the two and how they're filling each other out, all through exploring the city and adventuring and banter, and literal banter. But this is
the problem, I think, is that there's only so much time we have in a patch with a character. Again, it's a consequence of the gacha machine, right? You only have so much time, and usually the character that is on the banner, not only do you have to get to know their backstory, they also have to provide you the plot at the same time. Usually in like this scenario, I doubt that this particular character is responsible for like giving you the plot. But in gacha, the banner characters, the ones that you pull for that get introduced to the story, you have to know their backstory, and they have to give you the plot of the patch. So they serve two functions. They serve two functions, and there's so much. So they're giving you 2 rounds of exposition, the world around you, the plot, and their backstory. It's gonna feel like a lot because they have to. They have no choice. It's the consequence of the machine.
how you inherently convey expositions, like naturally, without actually expositioning for tangents.
Whew. That was unexpected. Thank you, Cloud.
I'm gonna skip ahead a bit.
And
'cause I
filling
think
each other out.
I get the point.
There
I kind of
it
get
is.
the point.
The wall.
No offense to the Final Fantasy VII enjoyers.
Maybe more than I can handle. I think sometimes.
I rest my case. I think at this point, you guys can.
I kind of understand what he's saying, but comparing a Final Fantasy game that takes years to make versus a gacha game that's just a few weeks doesn't feel like a fair comparison. I think if that's your takeaway from why he used this as an example, I think you're missing the point. With love, with respect, I think you're kind of missing the forest for the trees. He's merely using it as an example to be like, hey, here's a scenario, one like 5-minute scene where you could convey personality, character, have a normal conversation, and talk about the world by you actually playing the game at the same time. That's what he wants you to take away from that. If we're just kind of deflecting and being like, oh, but it's a AAA game and it takes so much longer to make, I think you're missing the point what he's trying to make. I think you're purposely not hearing what he's actually saying. With respect.
Can absolutely understand what I'm talking about. The difference in learning about two characters that are totally being presented in some intimate way, be it friendship, be it love interest, be it two strangers just trying to get to know one another. It is landing 30 times harder than this shit where Rover's just hitting one-liners.
Let's be honest, Cap, do you think Chisa and Rover can have convos like this the first time they meet? I think we're deflecting from the point here. I do. Like, okay, maybe the very first time they meet, no, but no one's suggesting that. No one is suggesting, oh, but like, why do you think Rover could have done that as soon as they met? No, obviously not. Obviously not. But once you've become settled into the environment, and guess what? There was a perfect time for them to do it. While we go on our quest to get the longings, right? And we have to go fight some things. We could have had that scenario of Chisa could have told more about herself or about the world that we're actually exploring in and fighting in at that time. And they had the opportunity to do that and they didn't. That's what we mean. It's not about like, oh, so like, why didn't he do it frame one? You kind of sound like you're deflecting the point and trying to make a scapegoat. And you're not hearing what's being said and what's being presented. I truly think you're not like hearing what's being said to you.
And you're just sitting there like, okay, bro, where did this intimate moment come from where she's just like losing her shit and stuff? And
wasn't
certain
earned.
people can make an argument like, well, she's been there for 2 months, man, and she.
And some people like, does there need? I hear this one a lot. Does there need to be a reason? I heard that one so much on Twitter, on comments. But does there need to be a reason? Like, for a lot of people, yeah, we have to have a reason to like feel a certain way and have a certain response. To some people, yes. If you don't, great. Happy for you. You can enjoy the story, and that's fine, and that's all it needs to be. But for some people, yeah, they do need a reason.
Finally have somebody to talk to and all this. I think you're valid in saying that, but it doesn't take away the fact that for me it was done so fucking poorly in terms of the execution of it, and in terms of the moments landing. Finally, there was another part where I swear to God, dog,
dude,
I don't know if
I
this
feel
is
so
1.0
heard with
music,
this
but
video.
it most certainly came off as
And how I
1.0
feel about
music.
stories
and it
in
was
this.
during another exposition
like,
dump
unbelievably
too.
so.
59:38. Here we go.
I'm fine.
Again, I really hope Smack goes back and takes a look at 1.3 with Shorekeeper and keeps this mentality in mind and just watches Rover's interactions. And I think he will be surprised about his opinion and about the interactions.
This song, this dead ass gives off 1.0 vibes. Even the isn't this the like this music is 1.0 vibes, right? They didn't even give new music in this patch. Now this was just straight up wrong, right? But this is me in the first half taking in this goofy ass song, and then the other one I just told you, the other one that was just mind numbing. And
I think at this point he was already over it.
But it was ass for me.
He's already over it at this point, and clearly he's like kind of like frustrated. So I'm not going to place so much stock into like what he says like 5 hours into his stream, when obviously he's already come to a conclusion about what he thinks about it. Like he's already, I don't think he has to justify himself here. Like bro's just like not feeling it. And you say shit when you're on stream, you just gonna say shit when you're not feeling it and you get caught in the motion. I'm never gonna like shit on someone for just going through the motions.
In terms of the setting and the emotions they were trying to convey, I didn't fuck with it at all. I remember this depressing ass song. This shit is 1.0 as fuck. And what's crazy is like a lot of the good music was in that second half. There was like a very good part in the first half of this though. Right before you get into like
pay that
actually
much
all the
attention to the
exposition,
music.
there was a beautiful fucking track right before this.
I thought you'd be sent straight to this safe house. But my forte was unstable. You ended up at the bus stop, so I asked Namipon to find you.
This Namipon is pretty dependable, huh?
Bro is justifying, yeah, but I'm saying he doesn't have to.
I was
I think it's
so
big of a deal.
fucking correct about this shit. Chat. This is before I start like just popping off, but it's basically like this dialogue is just not it for me. That's the most polite way to put it. And I want to make sure we're clear here. I actually was having a great time in this scene right here. Like
The
going
first-
through this,
the first 20
seeing
minutes
her
is
come out
great.
with the cinematic stuff. Even like I'd say even
I
right
said
here,
this,
going
the
through
first
the
20
city,
minutes
talking
is
to the
actually
people,
really
I
good.
was invested. I was having a good time here. It wasn't
By
until
the way, if you want my like breakdown of the actual story reasons why I didn't particularly like it, you can watch yesterday's stream, my VOD. I can't be bothered making a video, but it's there.
I then started doing my anime references like I normally do. It wasn't until we got to that coffee shop where things started falling apart for me. I was like, okay, bro, this is ain't it. Yeah, it was right here. Anyways, to summarize it up, I genuinely think there were even more like instances of discontent. Like I said, there was some transition.
We're not even getting into like the tower, how quick we got there, the fact that the best bit about like the patch was like 30 seconds long, reused assets, the ending of part 1 being so unbelievable. I refused to believe it was real, and I was taking the piss thinking, oh, it's obviously not going to be it. There's so much more about it that we could talk about, like so much more.
Where I was just like, what the hell happened there? There was the false sovereign fight. They tried to change the name of the guy and present it as something else. Like, bro, that's just false sovereign. That shit threw me the fuck off. But the second half was more so just compounding on the things I just explained to you here, but it was way better because the music.
Second half I didn't really care about because I just admit I embraced it was goofy.
Then the biggest,
I embraced it was silly, and that was
when
really
the Black Shores members show up and you just have a merry little like for the first time slice of life shoot this shit experience, and that was the most enjoyable part of the entire patch. If I were to grade that part alone as its own like grading, I would say it's an 8 out of 10. But unfortunately, we take into consideration the rest of this stuff and how it's presented. And I'm just like, oh no, bro, that shit was egregious. There were some people on Twitter trying to say, how did you like Bunny Girl Senpai but didn't like this? It's kind of a similar thing. No, it's not, because the guy who falls in love.
Also, this is really important. One is a game. I'm a believer. When you're playing a video game, you the player are taking control of characters. The story should wrap around you playing the game. It's very different from watching an anime and have things like told and being spoken. You actually have to have input to get story out. I hate this comparison so much.
With Mai only has eyes for Mai. That's it. That's the biggest difference. Rover, this is the 87th girl who has googly eyes for him after the quest is done for. There's no other connections outside of Rover and the newest girl. Name another male character that has a female connection with a female character in this game. Oh, that's right, you fucking can't. It's a joke for me.
Twitter's gonna roast him for that one.
Intimate moments serious when it's just the next girl they're trying to sell you with Rover. And guess what? It'll be the next girl after this. And
but
each time they
like
do it,
that.
I'm going to take it less and less serious.
They just want it.
Okay, Bunny Girl Senpai, Mai is his woman. He's in love with her. And guess what? It's infinitely better writing, infinitely better pacing, real stakes at hand and lives on the line. It's not even close. It's an insult, actually, to compare that. It's just like, it's a big insult. But to dial it back a bit, not
solid video. I think it's a matter of how he voices his opinions. He tends to be inflammatory. I would agree, and that's no disrespect to him. I respect Smack a lot. Like I've never always agreed with everything he's like said, but I respect him as a creator like a lot. I think he does fall under the category that a lot of creators do. I think I could include myself in that sometimes, of like, sometimes we say things very strongly and a lot of people don't like that, and unfortunately people will match that energy, right? If we're very strong on something and say something inflammatory because we're not fucking pussies and we can handle people biting back a little bit, right? That's gonna happen. People will bite back with a certain kind of energy. I think he's that sort of like creator that falls into that, and that's fine. That's what makes him him. That's why people like him, right? People respect that sort of thing, but you have to expect an equal response when you're being inflammatory. But at the same time, it's like, if you are able, he is someone who is able to like sit down and make a video like this, expressing his thoughts in an extremely logical way that makes sense and is like analytical and is very on point about it. It's like, well, the guy's just like streaming and playing through the story and saying stuff in the moment. It's not as a big of a deal. Like, why are we gonna criticize and crucify someone for something like that when it's very obvious they have the complete capability to have reasonable discussions? And he's a very reasonable guy at the core. Very reasonable. Can he be inflammatory? Yeah, sure, he could be inflammatory, absolutely, but like, does that really like matter? It only matters if you get offended by it. If it's something, then you just don't have to consume it. But he seems to be extremely reasonable in 99% of cases I've ever seen.
Pop off. Rover doesn't have a real personality. It's very rare when they actually give him a real personality the way they did in the Forlova quest. It's very rare.
I appreciate
Rover
people who stand on fucking business and say what they mean with their full chest. Even if it pisses people off, I appreciate that. Even more so when they can prove themselves right afterwards. Great, love that shit.
There, between the latest waifu, they're trying to, it very much is gathering wives. You did the same thing with Carlotta, the same thing with Cantarella, the same thing with Zani, which I didn't even expect that. I thought Zani would like be the woman that there wouldn't be that intimate moment. There was still a fucking intimate moment with Zani as well. It's every girl. It's every single girl. Karthithia. What about 1.0? Camellia, bro. Intimate ass moment with Camellia. It's always gonna be that next person, and the only connection you'll ever see with that woman is through Rover. And people like to gaslight this as it's the main protagonist. So you're telling me there's no other way to—
Here's the thing, Smack. So people like myself, I just got rizzed like that. There's always gonna be lines of women around any area I go. Shut the fuck up. I hate you. I fucking go perish.
to tell a story than to make the connection with the latest girl be through the main protagonist? You mean to tell me no
Appreciate
other
you,
male
then.
characters in this game
That's
can
my
have love
bestie.
interests? Chu Yin can't have a love interest story focusing on him and some other girl they're trying to sell you?
Chu Yun's story kind of annoyed me as well. It was fine. I liked it, the after story, but like,
I think we know the agenda of the game at that point. And this is why I always say it's for a self-insert, and people who would literally lose their mind if that next girl they were selling wasn't the love interest of their self-insert main protagonist Rover, but instead it was the love interest.
They don't
of
have to
Jian,
be like a love
of
interest,
Brant,
but they seem to be very interested.
Of Chu Yen, the three guys in the game, of Alto. That never happens. And that's why you take this less and less seriously, and the world seems much more smaller, because the only ever connection ever being formed is through a half-mute protagonist who drops one-liners and doesn't say anything, as the other half just exposition dumps your fucking ear off. I rest my case. That's all I have to say. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, good for you, man.
I'm glad I watched this. I was unsure if I was like, that's half an hour, do I want to? I'm very glad I did, because I feel validated in my 2.8 playthrough, like, immensely. I also feel validated for my 1.3 drama immensely. I feel like someone else is finally saying the things that I've been saying ever, like, literally a year ago. And so I'm glad this video exists, and I hope people actually hear what he has to say. I hope people hear and they don't deflect and be like, oh, this is just nitpicky. I hope people don't do that and actually hear what he has to say, because they're like, everything apart from maybe the music takes, which can be way more subjective. Music takes are way more subjective than like conversational takes, right? Apart from that, I'm behind like literally like 90% of what he communicated here, and I felt a similar way through my playthrough, especially like the end of 1.0 and all the intimacy with Chisa. I was literally screaming, this is so unearned. Why do I deserve this? Why do we have this time? And I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm glad I'm not the only one. And people could see, oh, this is clearly just a Western CC debuff. And maybe it is. I wish I had the ability to just enjoy what's presented to me and fully be invested in it. But I'm just I pick things apart a lot. That's just what I am. That's why I do commentary. Because I think about, like, so many different things all the time. Like, I think that's just like a curse of doing commentary, or a curse of being like a creator that likes to have opinions. You're always thinking about a reason for something. Like, I think maybe it's a Western content creator curse. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, curse of Western genetic debuff, probably. This was a great video. I really think everyone here needs to like leave a really positive comment. I do. I think this video needs every single like and every single positive comment. I wouldn't be surprised if this video got like not brigaded or like got dislikes like immediately as he posted it, because of like the nature of everything. So I feel like he, you know, give more comments and say how you think and be respectful, because I think this is genuinely, I think this is a video that people need to hear but might not want to hear. Yeah, let me check the comments, actually. Let me check the newest ones. I want to check the newest ones. But the one thing I found annoying from some people is complaining about how Chisa calls Rover senpai and calling it waifu bait when they just say Shadow Rover. I agree that saying it's true. I agree. Oh, this is good. I agree. I'm done with the constant new patch. It's a contradiction. Okay, actually, wait. People are like agreeing. I was so worried that people wouldn't agree, but they are. You know what? The W, it seems people are listening. You have it on point. It might also just be his like viewers that would be more inclined to agree with him, but I'm very glad that people like are hearing him out on this one. We need a video for the other side of the conversation. I don't think I'm gonna do it today. I'm kind of like I'm kind of tuckered out of listening to people's takes. I could probably watch it tomorrow. I'm down to hear someone else's view, like, for sure. The senpai discourse was super weird. I feel like if you play anything anime related at all, you should know what senpai means. It's probably, I think the senpai, I think that was someone rage baiting on Twitter. Like, I made it a big deal in my stream because I thought it was just funny. But I think, yeah, people just, you know, have a have a particular way about it. Legion's review is a good one to watch. Do Legion's 20 minutes? Okay, I need a break. Give me like 10 minutes. Let's take a break. We'll chill. We'll cool down. Give me 10 minutes. I'll watch Legions. Okay, again, I'm not making any of these into reacts. I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. I didn't expect to like really like this video. This is the best video I've ever seen from Smack, like low-key. 3.x will do justice for the CC takes. Honestly, I would love to have like a discussion or conversation about like this particular issue of like Rover's lack of seemingly acting like a normal person, because I think it's like it's been a problem since the beginning. Will you play Chaos or Nightmare? Yeah, I'm gonna play it for the first time later. I've been hounded ever since it came out. When I was in Texas with everybody was playing, every creator was playing this goddamn game, and I wasn't, because I refused to. But now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump into it, play Chaos or Nightmare, and see how I feel. I hope it's good, because you've all hyped it up like crazy, and I hope that it's good. But yeah, no, W video from Smack. He's gained kudo points from me. Genuinely think it's a great video. That is what's worrying. People keep saying dating sim, waifu, goon, etc. when there's just two persons hanging out doing normal thing. I think if you don't think that it's like a romance thing, I think you're potentially being blind, because the setting, the music, the way the characters are framed, pictured, is all like romance adjacent. So like you can't blame people for calling it dating goonism when that's how the devs intentionally are framing it to be. Let's not be intentionally obtuse with that sort of stuff, right? That sort of thing. Okay, great. Great video. W. I just don't feel like playing it. Fair. All right. How did you guys feel about the video? What was your guys' takeaway? Honestly, I'm very glad that y'all were very respectful. I overstayed, like, responsible now. Bye, Venerin. It is the weekend, guys, so if you gotta go do shit, that's fine. I respect everyone for being very reasonable throughout watching the video. Peak video. It's funny that English is my second language, but I understood Smack's points better than many people on Twitter. Because Twitter people can't talk like normal human beings. That's why, like, if you see something you don't like on Twitter, just block it, move on, because those people are not worth your time. They're literally, nobody's on Twitter just shouting, pissing into the wind. So, like, it's whatever. W Smack, as always, I agree with some of the takes. What didn't you agree with? Out of curiosity. I like this vid. Can't agree with everything he said, but I can get behind it. Would like it if he was like that live too, because I really can't watch him live for how harsh he frames things. That's a personal thing. Like, if his personality on stream is not something that his get behind, I think everyone has a right to not vibe with it. Some people think I'm too loud. Some people think I'm too loud and I'm too gooner, and that's okay, you know? So I wonder if the dialogue is different in other languages, since Asia loved it. I think what's it called? Not translation. Oh my god, why does it slip my brain? Not translation, but not interpretation. Oh my god, why does it slip my mind? Fuck, what's the word? Localization. Oh my god, I don't know why I struggle with that. The localization might make a difference, but Rover doesn't speak that much. I don't know how much localization differences would matter. The issue is more Rover's lack of saying things. So like, I don't know if localization is much of an issue. I like how calm his review is, but live it almost feels like he's mocking about things he don't like, and I just can't with that. I think that's fair. I think he definitely can be inflammatory, and it rubs people the wrong way. Like, that's just a truth, but you either watch or you don't. And that's his content, and I'm not going to please someone how they conduct themselves in a live. You know, like, that's what they do. That's what they do. You know, I vibe with it. I think it's funny. I never really take people too seriously when they're like that, because if you know they can be calm and reasonable, like, afterwards, I don't play. It's kind of like Saint. Like, Saint's a similar way. He could be mega inflammatory, but he could be reasonable. But he's also just inflammatory anyway, like, as a person. But like, it doesn't really, you don't place that much stock in it. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. There's a lot of creators like that. Playing the quest to JP is basically playing a 3D VN. I'm not sure if this will change because Kuro seems to cater to Eastern market first. Well, yeah, it's a gacha game made in China, of course. but like they have the ability to because they did it in 2.2, right? I think it's just a time thing. I don't think 2.8 is what they wanted it to be, honestly. Unc don't care about your feelings? Sure, like why would he care about a bunch of nobodies, right? Why would he care about a bunch of nobodies? Alright. I'll watch Legions' video now. And then I'm bro, it's getting late. It's 3 hours. Oh, it's getting late, bros. Okay. 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 Fine. We'll watch. We'll watch. We shall watch. Okay, someone send me a link. I'm lazy. I'm lazy. My ass is lazy. You should play Final Fantasy. It's peak. I'd love to. I've always wanted to. I've only ever played the MMO. It's not much difference in text. The Asian region really loves self-insert characters. It's kind of like the Zanny skin. Most Western CC I saw didn't like it, but JP absolutely loved it. Yeah. That's also why I stopped playing Love in Deep Space, funnily enough. The story ended up becoming so dog shit that I actually stopped playing. And the whole point of that is a fucking like visual novel kinda. And it was like, it became so like self-insert-y. Obviously, it's a fucking Otomi game. But the story around it became so bad. I was like, I can't anymore. So I stopped playing. Cap after Legion's reaction. It's 20 minutes! You guys are really testing my ADHD today. Like this is a lesson in discipline from me. Having like actually, oh my god. Okay, we'll lock in. I'll lock in. I promise I'll be nice. I promise I'll be nice. Maybe. All right.
A lot of discourse about patch 2.8 for Wuthering Waves on.
Do I say this? Do I? No, it's fine. You know what? It's fine. Never mind.
The story being bad or the story being good. I've seen, honestly, I was going to say I've seen 50-50 people like it, people don't. No, it's more like everybody that's in Southeast Asia.
No, it's fine.
Korea, Japan, China, they all love it. And then you got people in the West that love anime, love that kind of culture. Weebs, per se, are, you know, people that like romance anime and, you know, slice of life, drama, stuff like that, are loving it as well. Then you have all the other people in the West, the English community, that are pretty much shitting on it. While
okay, I don't like that. Okay, I feel that's a pretty bad way to poison the well of the conversation like 40 seconds into the video. We're already like pandering to the notion of like Eastern good, Western bad. We're already playing into the narrative that's already like there are so many people right now like on Twitter in comments that are like, all Western CC's bad and don't understand. And I feel like he's immediately pandering to that in the first like 40 seconds. I don't know. Like that makes me feel a bit strange, but okay.
Have the stance of, you know, it's a subjective thing and it's your opinion. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. It's not, you know, a big deal if somebody doesn't like something that I like. But what
he isn't wrong. No, he is though. Not wrong, but he's very much generalizing. We have to acknowledge that, right? Like there are a lot of EN people that really liked the story. When people think the story sucks, they're really referring to like content creators, right?
What I take offense to is when I love something or like something or I'm enjoying something and people go out of their way to try and shit on it while I'm mid enjoying it, mid playing it, and you know, even afterwards. Like, I'm not going to go after somebody for not liking the story, but
I don't know, man. When I was having my moment about like 1.3 and Shorekeeper, bro was like shitting on me on Twitter. Like, bro, well, not Twitter, but bro was throwing shade at me on his stream. I ain't gonna lie, I remember that. Like like, I don't know. I just don't believe that. I just don't believe that. Bro, literally, I remember that. Like, he was not happy with how I was taking the story.
I expect the same thing in return. I shouldn't be getting people mad that I enjoy something that they don't. Just like I used to hate romance anime and I used to think it was so cringe and make fun of people that watch it, especially dudes. But then I opened myself up to it, especially after doing Patreon and anime reactions and on TikTok, getting 200,000 followers on there. So many people asking me to watch these romance animes, and I was like,
context matters because I was angry that people kept spamming me during my stream about my takes, so I crashed out. That's fair. That's fair. Hi, Legions.
You know what? These people are my Patreon. They're giving me
but
money.
But still, at the time, it. But I get it.
They're supporting me. I'll watch it. I'll watch some of them. Best thing I ever did. Some of my favorite anime of all time now are, you know, romance anime or slice of life drama. Violet Evergarden's like my favorite anime of all time.
I feel like such a horrible person when I say that, like, I didn't fuck with everyone. Like, a bunch of people always call me crazy when I say that, like, Violet Evergarden I don't regard that highly. And I've had so many times people are like, there's something wrong with you, and maybe there is. I've always said that maybe there's something wrong with me for not liking something like that. I did not. It didn't do much for me. But yeah.
86 is really up there. Code Geass. Now, you know, Your Lie in April. There's some Plastic Memories is now up there. There's so many bangers.
It makes sense why you don't like this patch. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Are absolutely beautiful. And I wouldn't say that 2.8 is on par with that, but it's like of the same genre, right? And I really enjoyed this patch, man. I think from beginning to end, it was paced pretty well. There was a little bit of slow moments in the beginning. It was a slow buildup, but that's necessary for any story introducing a new character. I think the way Chisa was introduced was really good. I think the explanation of her backstory and how she was stuck in there, and the new lament that's happening there, the Iridae glow, whatever it's called, I think it was explained decently well if you just clicked on it and looked at the explanation for it. And then there was also another one, the storm, I forget what it's called, Verde storm or something like that, but the new storm, which is pretty much an EMP storm, right, that was keeping people from being able to interact with Laharoi. And I just loved everything about this patch. I think this patch is so misunderstood. Chisa is looked at by the English community, vastly by the English community, as waifu bait or another wife that Rover collected. I don't feel that at all. There was people like bitching about the whole senpai moment where she called her senpai. She said, "Arigato, senpai." And that was literally tied to the lore because canonically he is her senpai. They revealed, spoiler alert, because there's gonna be spoilers in this review, he revealed to him by showing him his ID badge that was 20 plus years old that he was a student
I didn't have a problem
at the
with
academy
this.
and a couple of years older than her. Obviously he was her senpai. That's where the whole, you know, respect thing comes in, and the cultural difference of Japan, and this patch was very heavily tailored.
I'm gonna be, I don't know, I don't know if everyone who didn't like 2.8, that was like a main reason why. I think that was like a Twitter thing. I think there was just someone rage baiting on Twitter about this, and it got the attention of so many people, even like big normie accounts talking about it. But I don't think it's an actual thing that a lot of people thought was cringe necessarily. At least for me anyway, I didn't care about it. It was whatever.
Japanese
I didn't mind.
Players, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. All the anime references, Your Name, Silent Voice, Anohana, dude, there were so many anime and JRPG references in this patch. It was so beautiful. But the term senpai, she says that because in Japan, that's a word that you use to be honorable and respectful to somebody that is older than you, an upperclassman, somebody that is watching over you, that is a little bit older than you. It's a form of respect. And then you also have not only senpai, but they also have the term sensei, which is like master or teacher, professor, and it is just a cultural difference. And there was so many people that were like, oh, this is waifu bait, she called her senpai. Oh, dude, it was not like that at all. I think she looks at Rover.
I think it could be both. Because that was intentional. I think there was a reason they made her say that in English. JP people are going to watch it in JP, right? Obviously. It's done in English intentionally to invoke emotion for you towards her. To be like, oh, she called her senpai. I think it can be both. I don't mean waifu bait. I think it fits her lore, but it also is there to invoke a reaction from the person playing of oh my god, she called her senpai, how cute. I think both can be true, right?
Now, don't get me wrong. There
There's
was
nothing wrong
some
with that, by the way.
moments
That's not a negative. That's just like both could be true.
of like her crushing on him a little bit and all that. But I think more than anything,
I didn't even know she said it in English. That's cringe. Why didn't they translate something else? But that's what people were saying, right? She said it in English, and people were like, "That's so out of place and so intentional." That's why I think that's why people were like took it like, "Whoa." That's why it was insane to people. So I think that they did it on purpose to invoke emotion in people. So I think both could be true.
she looked at him with admiration, looked up to him, like all the things that he accomplished, especially after he gave her the backstory for Renesita and what he's been up to, because she said she wanted to know more about him.
It's
And
Japanese with
seeing all that he
subtitles? Nah,
accomplished
it
and
was the
hearing all
English
that,
version.
she,
That's why people freaked out
respected him
over it
even
in the
more,
first
admired
place.
him even more. He was able to accomplish that all by himself. And I think it was just such a beautiful moment of, you know, her showing admiration and him saying, "You're not alone anymore," and welcoming her to the Black Shores after all this time, all the struggle that she went through, all the pain, all the loneliness, the loss, you know, self-loathing.
Rover Senior would be so ass. Well, they wouldn't make her say that, would they? The localization would be different, but they chose senpai because, like, she's the Japanese character girl. That's what it is. It's intentional. They did that for a reason. They want you, like,
she's been struggling. The world has been against her.
Yeah, the
at
Kuso
every turning
was
point,
cool.
man.
I like
you know,
that. I
Going
thought it was
back to
cool.
her backstory, wow, man. If you guys have watched Yona of the Dawn, I'm actually watching that right now on my Patreon for the first time ever. I'm on episode 16. I did like 2 sit downs where I just watched 8 episodes straight 2 times in a row. And during that reaction, I saw the White Dragon, which was heavily revered, right? If you haven't watched Yona of the Dawn, minor spoilers, I'm going to kind of avoid the big stuff. But I'm just going to kindly vaguely talk about it for people that have watched it. You know, Yona's going across the continent trying to get these 4 dragons to, you know, help her rebel against people that, you know, stole her land from her, killed her father, all this stuff. The White Dragon, sorry, I have like acid reflex right now. The White Dragon, it comes from a
acid
village
reflex. I was gonna do something mega cringe. You know what? It doesn't matter.
That's heavily revered as a deity, a god. He's treated with respect and honor, and they would do anything. They would die for him. And then you go to the Blue Dragon village, where they resent him, they hate him, they think he's cursed, and that he himself is a curse to the village itself. And they treat him with such disdain and resentment, and they hate him, you know, to the point where they wish he wasn't even alive. When I watched the 2.8 story quest and I saw Chisa talk about her homeland was, you know, a land where they despised resonators, they feared them. And when she became a resonator, she awakened her ability by trying to save someone that was being bullied. That's how she awakened her power.
I think this is, I keep thinking about Smack's video now as well, and how I'm linking it of like, I think someone like Legion is just, it's very easy for him to just like understand, take it in, and like empathize with it. And it's he could take the meaning from it and appreciate that. I just really think for someone like me, like, just because I get told it doesn't mean I feel it. And I really think that's how I understand the differences. But he's able to just like hear someone say and explain, and he can take that in and empathize and understand and appreciate and have all these thoughts about it. I'm not that kind of person. You get shown it too, though. You do have the moment where they have like the cinematic thing with her, but I feel like it's not like enough for me. I consider myself an empath. I don't need all the context. I can just put myself in character's shoes. It's weird. That's fair. Being empath is fair. Like, by the way, I'm not devoid of empathy. I'm not someone devoid of empathy, but I'm definitely way more of like the logical thinker, kind of like output kind of person. But I still appreciate like the little stuff, and it has to mean something. I think for me, the concept of like high school girl getting bullied because she's different just wasn't a compelling narrative to me. I know you could go a bit deeper with it, but like it's something I heard a lot, and I just didn't find it particularly compelling to begin with. Like, it's something I've heard so much, so that was my justification. But I understand other people, it's different and they relate to it, and yeah.
You get this sense of like, wow, we all thought that resonators were just like respected and needed throughout this world, but there are also places where they're hated and feared and thought as like cursed or demonic, right? And that's the way they treated her in her homeland, right? Her fellow students, adults, her peers, maybe even her parents grew a little bit colder and distant towards her because, you know, even they were probably being affected because their daughter was something like that, you know? And she talks about that a little bit. And then, you know, she goes to the academy and finally there, not to mention she was bullied heavily after that by saving a bully, right? Saving someone from a bully and then heavily bullied after that. Insane. And then she goes to the academy where she's finally loved and respected and needed and shown that she has a purpose and you know, that there's a reason for her to live and she's not cursed. And she makes all these new friends and she feels like she has a place she belongs and a purpose. Even the teachers are nicer. Everyone's nicer because that academy was made for resonators. Then she gets sucked into the sonar sphere because her homeland was pretty close to Hanami, I think that's the name of the city, and she got sucked into the sonar sphere because of an event that happened there. And once again, she's alone. She has nobody there. But then she finally meets Sumika. They literally became the best of friends. They were the only source of comfort for each other that they had. There was nobody else there. They were the only ones that could help each other, support each other, talk to each other.
You guys are gonna fucking hate me, but I didn't care about Sukma. I ended up calling her Sukma in the fucking story because I wasn't giving her really a reason to care. Like, I literally ended up calling her Sukma, and I couldn't take her seriously because, like, we never really spend that much time with it, and it didn't really develop much for me, and I didn't particularly, like, care that much. She was so compelling to me. Hey, if you did, that's fine. You didn't care because of logic and facts. That's not what I'm saying at all. That's literally not what it. That's literally not at all what I'm said or saying.
You know, provide for each other, and they were each other's sense of comfort in a world that was apocalyptic and no one else was there, and they had to watch these people constantly die. While
the reason being, I saw Sumika as a plot device for us to, like, finish the quest rather than someone whose character I should be caring about. I understand her relationship with Chisa, but I felt she was put there to be the plot device for us to progress the story rather than, like, it be something meaningful. And you could disagree with that, and that's totally fine. I don't care. If you think I'm wrong, disagree, that's fine.
Fucking this endless loop over and over again. And then we come to find out that she is a Black Shores researcher who was heavily respected and really, really good at what she did. And she was stuck in there as well. And they were trying to find a way out. And lo and behold, she finally makes another friend after everything that's happened in her life, you know, meeting new people and then getting stuck in the sonar sphere, being alone again, finding someone else again who's like her best friend or sister almost. And Sumika just goes and tries to save her on her own and sacrifices herself by going to that tower and dying, but leaving a path carved and making sure that when she gets there, the path is carved and the way forward is carved and we know where to go. We won't make any mistakes, make any wrong turns and die.
Maybe I couldn't appreciate Sumika at the time because when this was all happening, all I was thinking was like, how is she carving a path? What does that mean? Why? She opened up a path to Rover. How does she do that? It looked like it just kind of appeared. I was asking all these questions in my head at the time that I couldn't really take a minute to, like, appreciate her at all because I'm just like, what, how, what, why? I was asking too many things and it was so rushed. I felt this whole part of the quest was so rushed that I couldn't really take in what she was going through because I was like, how is she carving a path? How is it going? How did the rift actually open apart from it just, like, appearing? Like, she left a Iridigo traces, but like how did she leave Iridigo traces? How does she manage to open, like, the rift finally or find it, the reason why it opened up like that? And I because of that I couldn't, like, appreciate her because I was like, I'm more concerned about how we're progressing the story, I guess, overall. I don't think that way. Because I think you would just find plot holes in everything that way, and that's fine. But I think at that point in the story, I had already been like, okay, I'm not vibing with this story writing. I'm gonna start looking problems and things because I'm just already in that mindset, right?
She did, and in her final moments, you know, Chisa sees her final moments.
But I understand now upon reflecting, I can understand why I didn't care much about Sumika. It's because I'm like, I'm more focused on the how and the why and don't give much thought to like her character, but I couldn't find a reason for me to be compelled to like it.
It's because her resonator power was to leave amber tears, like amber stones that hold her memories, right? That she wanted to leave behind. And she left behind the memory of sacrificing herself and saying, please let me win just this one time. Let me like help save the people here, save my best friend. And then she just dies. But before she dies, she pulls Rover in, knowing that Rover is the one that will be able to save them. It was such a touching moment. I can't believe they got me to feel so attached to an NPC, and her design was so good, man. The Kuro devs, right? Like, they are so good at like designing unique NPCs and actually making you care about the characters. Even in 2.6 and 2.7, you know, we saw that as well, and a lot of NPCs throughout 2.0. But they did such a good job at, like, God, I got teary-eyed at that moment when she sacrificed herself. And then even then again later when we saw that image of her doing.
See, this is like the peak difference. I felt absolutely nothing. I felt like absolutely like nothing, because I'm like, this is happening so quickly, and she just 07 pieces out, and then we move on immediately. I thought they barely like acknowledged it, and I was like, okay. 07 I was like 07 Sukma, like I didn't, and it was very quick, but I respect the fact that he understood her and her character and appreciated that part of it. I respect, sure.
The shush and the wink when Rover saw her and then Chisa also saw her, that was a very touching moment. That's the part where I was like, okay, man, they got me. It was such a beautiful quest. And then Chisa, after all this again, you know, she finally has, you know, the Black Shores. We get out of there, we get to the part 2 of the quest. They're helping her heal because she was overclocking for so long that they didn't even know how the heck, it was a miracle that Chisa was still alive. Then
I
she
like the
leaves to go back to
overclocking
Hanami
segment of
City again while
Chisa.
she's
I like
still
that.
recovering.
That was my favorite part of part 1, actually. Was at that part in the tower, like that whole, I liked that the most. I don't really have anything bad to say about that particular part,
because she gets this information like every day that she was in that sonar sphere. 100 days passed outside the sonar sphere because the time, you know, warped differently, was you know, ran differently in that sonar sphere. So 20 years.
Do you know what would have made me more compelled? If we actually saw Chisa kind of break down over this, like her breaking down of the realization that she'll never have those friendships back, that all the people she knew were growing old or gone or whatever. Seeing her actually go through that struggle would have made it so much more compelling for me, because I'd be able to see and feel it and understand and see her going around it. I know it took her to her past and she relived her past, but I would like to have seen her like go through those motions like alongside Rover, and I think that would have been a way better way of getting people on board with that.
At past. Now you got to think about that. That means
hide her pain.
Friends,
yeah, I understand
her
that.
Professors.
Which is why I feel like it would be even more compelling if she did break down. This person is always so composed. Breaking down over the realization, that would make it so much more like
everyone
insane.
She knew and loved was 20 years older. That could mean that they could be dead.
Yeah, like
on,
this is a part of the story I agree with that is tragic. I understand this. I totally get this. I wish I saw more of her struggle.
About her got married,
like how she
families,
feels about
you know,
it. Because this is an example, like this is what I meant before earlier, of an example of like, just because like you say that a story exists, like, oh, this happens and then she spends all this time here and time passes outside, just because it exists, just saying it to me doesn't mean anything. I have to experience it. I have to see it to feel it. For some people, they can understand that and be like, that's tragic. For me, I can't. I have to see them, what it does to them, for me to empathize with that.
It is like her entire world was flipped upside down again. She finally got that moment of like, oh, I can go see my family, I can go see my friends, I can go back to the academy, and then everything's changed again. So, you know, I don't think she was waifu bait at all. I think she's a girl that went through a lot of struggle, a lot of sadness and despair, and she persevered. And the messaging of this patch and the story was really good because she pretty much just persevered through all of that in all that despair, in all that loneliness, and all the struggling, the entire world, it felt like the world was against her at every freaking turn, and she still somehow powered through. But then, of course, meeting Rover was the one that helped push her through that and save her and get her out of that. So that's why she has this admiration for this person, you know. And of course, we're assuming she's a high school girl because she talked about she was a first year. So that could be a first year in college or first year in high school. So she could either be 14 or 18, right? One or the other. But Japan, they go into high school younger than we do. So she could be 13 or 17, around there, right? And you know, she's a young girl who never really got to have a normal childhood and never got to experience like school life, getting a crush, you know, falling in love, none of that. So she sees this person that says, you know, raising her up pretty much. You won't be alone anymore. You have a family now, and, you know, I'll always be by your side. And, you know, saying these things. So of course she's going to show a little bit of shyness, you know, with the part where she's like moving her hair and she's blushing. And you know, then she gives us the present and she's all shy. That was her like having her first crush, right? She's never gotten to experience that before. She's not like an older woman like Augusta or Yuno or Galbrenna or anything like that, right? She is a young girl that's experiencing her crush for the first time, and that's what I got out of that. Could it get, you know, more? Maybe, I don't know, but that's what I got out of this quest. I think she felt like very heavy admiration for Rover and thankfulness for what he did and for her friend, right? I think the music in this patch was incredible. There was people saying in my chat that other creators and other people were saying the music was as bad as 1.0. I don't believe that at all. I think the music
thing, I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I usually do. But because I didn't notice anything crazy, maybe my opinion is I don't think it was like particularly anything outstanding. I think it was just pretty baseline. The mere fact I didn't really pick up on anything crazy with the music, I think says to me it was like mid. It was fine. It was whatever. Didn't hate it. I didn't think it was anything crazy like some other things. Like, it's just simply fine.
It's really good. Very reminiscent of other JRPGs. I showed it a couple times in my stream. Some of the songs sounded like Stellar Blade tracks. Some of them sounded like Tokyo Xanadu or Trails of Cold Steel tracks, or even these tracks.
100%.
The tracks in this, the OSTs in this, were so beautiful.
Music is subjective, but I think there becomes a point where you can make an objective take about certain things. Like for example, if someone literally makes white noise and uploads it to Spotify, I think we could all objectively say most people are not going to like this thing because of X reason. That there's a point of subjectivity, but you can still draw reasonings from things of why things might be good or bad.
As well, man. Oh my god, the locations in this patch were so incredibly beautiful.
The visuals are peak. This is the best. This is the best Wua has ever looked. I stand by that. The whole time I was going, this is so fucking pretty. This is so pretty. The color palette, everything. This is the prettiest Wua's look.
Lighting, you know, the work of the lighting in most of
like, I think it's better than even the upcoming games. Put a Nanta in there. Wua wipes the floor with it visually still. Like, it was that good.
The areas, it felt like I was watching a movie, like an anime.
Fuck it, Silver Palace. I genuinely think 2.8 looked better than what I saw. Like, visually. I don't know. I fucking liked it a lot.
At times, it was beautiful. And I think what we got to talk about the most is the fact that the storytelling in this patch is probably the best storytelling that we have seen from Wuthering Waves.
I've wildly reject this. The cinematography is the best. The cinematography is the best it's been. The storytelling, no. The cinematography, yes. Storytelling, no.
And I don't mean story, okay? Don't get it confused. I mean the way that the story was presented, the camera angle changes, the way the...
Bro needs a fucking dictionary. I swear to God, Legions. You need a fucking thesaurus, man. Get this man a thesaurus.
Cameras were panning, the lighting, the expressions on the characters. They really upped their game here, and it seems like every single patch they just keep getting better and better and better. I can't wait to see what
you need a fucking thesaurus
3.0 is going to look like with this.
Bro should never said storytelling.
Really for 3.0.
I'm going to police you. I'm going to word police you.
They had to do last minute 2.7, the lack of combat events, and then this patch is 5 weeks instead of 6 weeks, and it was a shorter quest. You know, so I have a feeling they've been working on 3.0 like crazy, and we're going to be in for a really good surprise. Yeah, dude, the storytelling was phenomenal this patch, and there's not really much for me to complain about. I think the only thing that I would say that I had issues with was, again, the reused assets for the boss. They need to stop reusing assets for bosses.
So fucking cringe. I'll be honest, I think a lot of the bosses have been cringe, low effort recently. Just overall, in general, like the designs of them, I don't think have been even like that amazing.
Man, it is so annoying. Oh god, that is one thing that triggered me. As soon as I saw that thing that we fought in Septimon, I was like, oh come on, man.
That thing that we fought. Hey guys, you see that thing that we fought? Oh man.
Had Lady C.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm so sorry.
Lady of the Sea was pretty much a reskin. We had, you know, the thing we.
Hey ma, give me a coffee.
Fought in Septimon was pretty much a reskin. Then when you see Fleur de Lis, you know, Threnodian battle, it's another reskin. Like, dude, maybe they did it because they're focusing on 3.0 and they couldn't waste their time on.
Oh yeah, Fenriku was the worst fucking boss ever. I'm glad we fought him. Was the worst boss.
And making a new enemy, but holy.
Don't make me fun of your Welsh accent. I don't even sound that Welsh, dickhead. Everyone knows it.
Crap, please, girls, stop reusing bosses and just reskinning them. It's really annoying. And there was some slight like hitching or lag or stuttering on like the first cutscene entering there, but then I didn't see that at all ever again once I was in the area. And I think the only other thing that I would complain about is the fact that there's no treasure chests in the open world, and the new area is pretty small, but I am just glad that we got a new area in general and we're able to explore it. Unlike
I need to do my exploration. Apparently it opens up if you do the event, which I think is actually a really interesting way of doing a map exploration, which they haven't done before. I feel like they're testing something out for 3.0. I feel like they're testing new exploration for 3.0 where you actually have to do stuff to like explore. So like, yeah, I think they're beta testing a feature for 3.0.
You know, the 2.7 area, that was one thing I was really disappointed in 2.7. We weren't able to explore that area, or there was no chests or anything like that. And they did the no chest thing again, but at least you can explore, and there's, you know, new combat events and stuff that I will be doing on Saturday afternoon. But yeah, man, if you're watching this, it probably is Saturday, so I probably will be doing it today as you're watching it, so probably gonna upload this Saturday morning. But yeah, I think that was the only gripes that I had for the patch. And I think that all this hate of like CCs, like making fun of other CCs or other viewers if they do like the patch, or CCs making fun.
I think making fun of people is cringe. I do. I think making fun of people is just objectively cringe. Like, no one should do that. Like, you can do it. Here's the thing. You can do it. Sometimes if it's funny, you can get away with it. If it's funny enough, you can get away with it. But you need to expect people to match you with an energy back. If you can handle that, feel free. Feel free. But yeah.
Of you know, other CCs or viewers that didn't like the patch, dude, it's subjective at the end of the day. People are gonna like things you don't like. You're gonna like things that other people don't like. Doesn't mean that you can't get along, or, you know, that it has to be this divisive, dude. Like, I cracked some jokes too when people in my chat were saying like, oh, Gotcha Smack said the music was really bad, and I was like, you know, that's his opinion, but I'm allowed to say that opinion is awful because I think it's really good. But I'm not going to shit on him for that opinion. I think that's his opinion, and maybe he doesn't like the more softer like JRPG tracks with a lot of piano and ambiance and stuff to it. And there was some very heavily coded JRPG ones there too that were really upbeat. But you know, some people like rock and they don't like country. Some people like country and they don't like pop. You know, it's stuff like that. So at the end of the day,
this is one of the things I'm legitimately like indifferent about. I have so many split ends. Oh my god. I'm indifferent. Doesn't affect my enjoyment. My enjoyment isn't going to change on the music factor.
Are going to enjoy things differently from you.
He's right.
I don't think it's a big deal, but I do think that when you say that the music is bad, that is where the line needs to be drawn, because you can say that you personally don't like it, but to say that the music was bad as 1.0 is just like factually incorrect. Ask anybody.
I do think that's an unfair thing to say, right? Like, the overall music is just bad. I think that's inflammatory, right? That's not based in really much. That's just an inflammatory statement you've made in passing. If someone's honestly, I feel like if someone says it like on stream, I'm gonna think maybe they're just like in the moment, in the motion. But like, yeah.
I knows anything about music. I used to play piano for like 10 years. Ask Marco Meatball.
I really dislike how Saint calls people media illiterate just because they enjoy 2.8. That's just Saint. He's baiting? No, he's just like that. Nah, he's just like that.
Guarantee you Marco Meatball's not going to say that the music this patch was terrible, okay, or as bad as 1.0.
Like he fully believe. No, I could see he would fully believe that. He doesn't say things and not believe it. I'll be real. He doesn't. If he said that, he meant it. Like that's just how he is. That's why people love him for it, you know.
Thing could be said about the story. You're allowed to not like the story, you know. Everybody's going to enjoy different things. But to say it was as bad as 1.0, I just disagree with that so much. And people are allowed to have that opinion, but I don't think it was nearly as bad. The storytelling in 1.0 was awful, right? The voice acting was awful, right? The pacing, awful. Like, the graphics, awful. Like, everything, like, stuttering, awful. 1.0
no, Marco liked it.
Never going to be beaten for being the worst patch ever. Okay, the final chapter is the only thing that gave it any saving grace. Other than that, it was utter dog shit. I'm very excited for 3.0. I'm very excited for Game Awards. I think they're going to start drip marketing 3.0 by showing us images, teasing, just like they did for 2.0, like where they were showing masks and weapons and locations, but very vaguely. I think they're probably going to start doing that the first week of December, because now that we know that it's a 5-week patch, we're going to be getting 3.0 on Christmas Day, which is hype as fuck. And then I think we're going to see an actual teaser trailer at the Game Awards on December 14th, I believe it is. So mark your calendars. I will be going live for that, for the Game Awards. And of course, once they do the 3.0 live stream, I will be live for that as well. And 3.0 the day of, because it'll be Christmas Day. If after I'm done spending time with my family, I will probably be streaming.
Wait, is 3.0 Christmas Day? That's terrible. Wait, that's a fucking awful idea. What? That's genuinely a terrible fucking idea. Like, I'm not doing anything for... I live on my own. I ain't doing shit for Christmas. I might make myself a fucking turkey for myself and eat the whole thing myself. But that's fine for me. But, like, really? Christmas? Oh, Boxing Day? Boxing Day is, like, pretty fucking, you know, people spend time with their families. I went parents for a few hours and then I go home, so it's perfect for me. That's fine. Christmas knows what special thing it is. Yeah, I know that, but I'm just I'm being selfish, guys. Think of the Westerners. Gamers, they go and be playing games all day. True. Do you know what? Can I be really sappy for a moment? I can't wait for when I have my own family and like I actually care about Christmas and like the holidays. Like I have a reason to like put in effort for my kids. Like, is it crazy to say that I'm like really looking forward to that? Like I want the holiday. I can't wait to make someone else feel so excited to wake up on Christmas Day. I'm getting old, bro. Bro, it's happening. Thoughts are in my head. I already have those thoughts in my head of like, what if I just had kids and like we could have a really awesome Christmas and everyone's really happy and we're all a happy family. Fuck. Anyway.
Like, no joke, but I think that
mother fever, maybe. You're almost 30, TikTok. Bro, I turned 27 in literally 1 month. I'm a Christmas baby. I turned 27 in a month. I got 3 years. That's
all I'm gonna have to say for this video. If you guys want to know my rating, I think I would have to rate it at an 8.5. I did say 9, but then recency bias was a thing. But lowering it was the reused boss assets and then the stuttering in the beginning, very vaguely. Some of the pacing in the beginning was a little bit slower than I would have liked. Overall, and then the no chests, right? No chests, but still being able to explore and the map being a little bit small. That probably brings it to like an 8.5 for me, because I was originally gonna give it an 8, but the teaser at the end for 3.0 at the end of this patch brought it almost to a 9. It was so good.
That's
you
crazy.
know, that voice that we heard
happy for him,
through
though.
the radio, dude, that could, people are saying like that's Cheese's mom, but I have or someone is saying that's a female resonator, a female rover, but I don't think so, because I watched a playthrough of someone playing it with female rover and it was still a female voice, so it wasn't male rover talking. I think that was the goddess in the beginning of the game in the intro.
I thought that too. I was thinking that. Oh, I'm glad. Okay, that's cool.
Said the universe has rejected us.
That's what. That's why. Because okay,
that's who it is, and because we've been seeing her more and more as every, you know, with every patch. In 2.7, we saw her when we were with Gal Brenna when we entered that sphere with the Sentinel, right? I have a feeling that that's who it is. It's the goddess that gave us birth. She's been watching over us this entire time, and you know, we saw Rover like disappear a little bit, and it was the same light that she gave when she was like giving birth to him and giving him like energy, right? Like disappearing and turning like yellowish gold, right? So that's my theory on that. I think it's going to be very interesting, the new academy area.
We see those like things that yellowish at the beginning of the game when we're with the goddess, so it makes sense.
See what the academy looks like, what the outfits are going to look like, what the new characters are going to look like. It's probably going to be very heavily modern inspired. Maybe it's going to be Japanese inspired still. I don't know, but either way, I am very, very excited.
It has to be Japanese inspired if Chisa was there.
Did you guys enjoy the
That's
patch?
what her
Did you not
outfit
like
was.
it? What do you think about my review, the rating, all that? And tell me what you're most excited for 3.0 going forward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Fine video. I have nothing. I have nothing bad to say. Like this is a guy telling how it's breaking down why he liked the story and the story beats in it of what he thought was compelling, and he enjoyed it. So you know, that's cool. I understand like a little. I understand a bit more why people liked certain things, and I understand more about myself of why I didn't like certain things, and I can see the differences. And I think isn't it great that we could all like tolerate other people's like opinions? Isn't that great that we can listen to other people's views and not like crash out and call people like awful things? It's great. It's such a good time. It's so good. We could just be nice about things and just be reasonable. I'd be like, okay, that's how you feel. Oh, I understand. As it should be. As it fucking should be. I appreciate Legions. Thank you. That was a nice video. I will leave a like. Listen, let me help. Let me just do my part as a good. Let me give that a like. Oh, I'm not subscribed. Oops. You didn't see that. I'm subscribed now. I promise. Let me do my part and boost it in the algo. You know what I mean? Arigato. Bro, I'm not subbed to so many people. No, don't shame me. Guys, can I be honest? I don't use this account to watch people on usually. I use a different account to watch shit on. I'm just being honest. I have a different so I don't mess up my feed, my YouTube homepage on this. I have a different account that I watch stuff on, but you won't believe me. It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me. It's okay. I'm the same. I have a different account for my personal shit. Origami go Sekiro or whatever. God. Okay. Now, should I play Chaos or not? Oh, I'm so tired. Guys, it's been 4 hours. It's been 4 hours. I'm kind of like tired. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. I could play some CZN. I could play some Chaos or Nightmare. I could play. Do you know what? I'll play a bit. 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 I've never played before. I've never played. I've literally never played. It's been my first time. I opened it to download something and that was it. At least do the tutorial. Okay. Okay. Let me change my category. Chaos Zero Nightmare. Chaos Zero Nightmare. Okay. Arigato gozaimasu. You gotta start the perfect time because they're literally fixing 9% of people's complaints. Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay. I'm just gonna change my title and category. Alright. They lowered upgrade costs on characters and partners by like 80%. Oh fuck, so it's less, is that less grind then? When is that happening? She gets to 50, yes. Okay. Where's the game? Hello, game? Dumb British? Fuck, listen. Is it supposed to not run? Hello? Got to be friends. Have you dropped where it went to be? No, I haven't had the time, guys. I haven't had the time to play it on stream. I'm already having problems. Guys, I'm already fucking having problems. Why is Woo still launched? I need a new PC. Bro, I need a new fucking PC, but I can't really justify spending £2,000 or dollars on a new fucking PC. It's the end of the year, bro. I got shit to do. Oh, man. Time for a subathon before Christmas? I don't know about that. Yeah, I do already have my GPU. I upgraded the GPU. I need a new CPU. I need a new motherboard. SSDs. That's what I need. Close to those programs. I need most of them. Yeah, let me end this. Let me try again. Let me try again. RAM that went up 200 by 40% is up. SSDs are cheap now, and so is RAM, just a CPU. Fuck. And motherboard. Oh, I might as well just get a new PC. Part of me just wants to get a whole new pre-built. The thing is, I built all my PCs. I built all my PCs. Oh shit. It's fine, whatever. I built all my PCs since I was like 16. Open. Let's be friends. We were never had. Chaos Zero Nightmare. Play. You see that 6 months ago it was cheap, it def went up. Holy. I'm so cooked, bro. I'm so cooked. Finally playing a better game. The launcher sucks balls. Bro, I can't play the game. I'm gonna start crashing out. I would like to play, but it won't fucking let me. Why do you have 1 million? I don't. OBS, that's Spotify. I don't know what that is. Streamer bot so I could read my chat. My joint chat. This can go. All this is just like services. This is fine. Look, it's fine, right? This is so fine. What? It's not even like... What's Feedback Hub? Why the fuck is Feedback Hub give it 7% on my CPU? What the fuck? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. OBS, Opera, Streamer Bot, NordVPN. Why is that even running? I don't use a VPN on my PC. Malwarebytes, Stove. What? It's fine. It's not running that much. Does your streamer bot not let you put the combined chat on stream anymore? Mine fucking broke. I use a different thing for combined chat. So I use Botrix to put it on my like OBS, and I just use like streamer bot like next to my chat arena. Can you send it to me? I'll send you the link. It's just a link. Just Google Botrix. I could put my Kick, Twitch, and like YouTube chat all in one place. You don't have to download it. You don't have to. It's browser. Like it's in browser. Like it's like literally that. Chaos is due to nightmare. Hi, Amethyst. Hello. Yeah, no worries. It's just a browser source. Okay, I don't think this game wants me to play it. Where is it in my drive? Stove. Can I launch it directly from the stove file? Resource? Oh my god. Fix your PC. My PC's fine. It's okay. Time 64. Fuck, where do I find the file? You should be able to. Where the fuck is it? Where is it? Where? I can't. Can I? Wait. Can I view local files? Wait, there we go. What the fuck? Where the fuck is the game? Bin. Stove shield? Can't. Wait, load this. Load this. Do you watch football? No. I used to with my housemate. He was really into it. He was a big Chelsea fan. What the fuck is happening? Already running? I literally opened it this morning to download stuff. A virus? Sort it by name to find it easier. Oh, my mouse is stuck. Wait, what the fuck? Oh my god, my mouse is... Holy f... Oh god, what's happening? Everything froze. Oh shit. This is not... Bro, this is not... It's not here! It's not an app! It's not a fucking app! Background processes. Chaos, there's nothing here to show that it's here. There's literally nothing. Close stove and restart as admin. Okay. Okay, I'll do that. Close. Let me close. Let me close it. End. Okay, end. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Stove. Why do you make me log in every single time? I'm already in. Thanks for the PC. Oh, I didn't launch it as fucking admin. Did I? Wait, hold up. Maybe I did. Hold up. I'm feeling kind of retarded. Dude, I feel like someone hit my brain with a sledgehammer. I legit feel like someone hit my brain with a fucking sledgehammer. I just want to play the game. I just want to play the game. I just want to play the game. Already this game has a 2 out of 10 for me right now. Hi David, hello. Alright. play. What's happening? Restart PC. If I restart my PC, I'm gonna make some fucking food, bro. I'm gonna make some fucking food. I really want pizza today. I've decided I might do it. I kind of want pizza. I can have, if it's within my calories, I can have it. Time to end stream. I might have to reinstall it. Is it that long for your PC to restart? But no, it will end my stream if I restart, dummy. How do you manage to break every game? I'm literally ordering pizza right now. I want a Domino's one because they have the Christmas pizzas with the cranberry sauce and the sage sausage and the turkey and the stuffing, and I love those. I love the festive ones, so I really want one. I'm just gonna get like a medium, and I'll only have like 2 slices, I promise. I've been so good. I've been keeping within my calories every single day, so I trust myself. Yuck, bro. Listen, it's good. Listen, I'm also the person that had the burger pizza with triple pickles on it. Bro, what did you just say? I'm someone who will eat a pickle pizza. I'm one of those. I'm weird. Bro, it's a pizza. It has the sage and onion like sausage on it. It has turkey. It has stuffing on it. Cranberry sauce. Because it's a Christmas themed pizza. It's so fucking good. I will not accept slander. Did she say cranberry? Yes, it's fucking good. It's good. I will not. Do not judge before you try it. It's good. I miss her. She said it. It's good. It's good. Help. Wait, let me show you. Wait. Nah. Hold up. No.
So today we have got the Domino's festive pizza. It's
yes, lad.
Festive one. I'm standing next
yes,
to the Christmas
fucking
tree
lad.
Up early, and we're going to review this.
Get in, that's my boy.
So we've got pulled sage and onion turkey, Cumberland sausage,
sage and onion turkey,
onion,
fuck
mozzarella, and cranberry drizzle on top, and he's just 12 pounds for a large pizza. Trying to try all the takeaways or any other places festive menus out, so I have to try this. Let's get a slice. We've got all the gear on there.
So look at it. He sounds just like you. I'm not that northern.
I do love the classic.
I don't like a classic. You know what? You're like Legions. I do like a proper classic, me. Get that sage and onion on that. Get the drizzle on there. Like I drizzled the sauce over your mum last night. I was giving a fucking back shots. Yeah, you're fucking.
I love the bases of them.
Sorry.
Covered in like the flour and stuff at the bottom. I don't really know what it is. That is very nice. Sweet cranberry drizzle. Cumberland sausage. The sage and onion turkey. There's not much of that on the pizza. Very tasty bit of turkey there. Taste of stuffing in there. That is an absolute banging pizza. It's a good 9 out of 10.
Oh, yes, lad. Oh, I'm hungry now. Oh my god, I need food. This game isn't. Oh wait, it is loading. It did load. Wait, it's here. Oh! Holy shit!
カオスによって地球が壊滅したためです。しかし未知をゼロに返すためのカオスゼロプロジェクト、そのテクノロジーでここから先は最終奥義。こいつらは俺が。
死を選ぶ権利を奪うことがそんなに誇らしいのか。フィールド全開、フィールド全開。
見たま
The music's cool. Holy tits.
これで終わりだ。それで副館長が自らを犠牲に。
I enjoy the stories for the Wu and I usually
感動的
hate
な話ですね。
エゴの崩壊はもはやカオス開拓を止められる危険要因ではありません。神から忘却という名の祝福を受けた人類こそ決して傷つかず死なず副作用に苛まれることなくこの宇宙で唯一任務を完遂できる存在なのです。もしこの宇宙に広がる悪意が果てのないものだとしたら、これからは私たちが彼らの悪夢となってみせる。
Okay.
バイタルサイン確認。
Can I change my display settings?
ライフコアに異常あり。確認要望。
It's glitching out all my displays, I'm not gonna lie. I have 3, it's glitching out all of them.
意識が戻ってきているようです。
Me! Can I change this? Bro, I can't click on any of them. Wait, I'm not clicking there.
館長、気がついた？
What the fuck? Bro, what? What? Bro, it won't. Bro, look, the cursor doesn't click where I want it to. Bro, what? I'm so confused. Bro, it's okay. My screens are glitching out. I have it on my main screen. On my screen next to it, half of it is showing. But I get the full thing on my main screen. Bro, it's glitching out like crazy. You need to reboot. I had that bug as well. Reboot the game on my PC. Alt tab, it's not helping. It's not helping. Oh god. The game? I don't know if I could be bothered. I genuinely don't know if I could be bothered. I might fix it off stream and then I'll enter. I already tried that. It didn't do anything. It legit didn't do anything. I'm not in the, okay, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna fucking crash out. Dude, I'm gonna fucking look at what it does when I tab out. It does this. It does this on my screen. I'm so confused. How did I break the game? How did I break the fucking game? Bro, this fucking... Do Windows Shift key, left or right arrow key to change the screen so you can fix it? That didn't work. That's now done the same thing on the other side of the screen. It's not working. Bro, it doesn't. Oh! Now it's it's so broken. It's so. Oh my god! It's oh my god! All my screens are fucked. All my screens are fucked. Holy shit! Okay, you know what? It's now worse. Can you go to stairs on the top? No, because the... Oh, well, there we go. Oh, wait, no. Wait, fuck. No. Settings. No. Settings. Bro, every time I click, it... The cursor, can you see that? The cursor isn't clicking where I want it to click. Do you see that? Wait, hang on. Maybe I can... maybe... Fuck. No!
意識の消失を確認
It's fine. I don't know how... Okay. I don't know how to just relaunch the game. Yeah, let's... Okay. Let's try again. Can I change the settings from within here? No. Okay, play. Am I gonna have to wait like 500 years for it to launch? Okay, no. Okay, so far it's fine. I just saw this, right? I just saw this, right? Okay. Right. Okay, I think it's working. Oh my god, it's working now. Holy shit, it's fucking working. Oh my god, it's fucking working. Holy fuck. Oh my god, thank fuck.
意識が戻ってきているようです。艦長、気がついた？
A violent storm of memories surged through your mind, burning everything in its path. From the depths of your muddled memories, the last thing you had said slipped from your lips before you even realized it.
意識の消失を確認。
艦長！艦長！
No! That's all gonna be! I'm self-inserting. The China number one! The China number one! I love China. The fog in your mind slowly dissipates. A lingering dizziness and a dull ache in your chest remain. Mika, Ray, why are they all like VTubers? I feel like this is a VTuber game.
艦長、どうしたんですか?
You look really pale. I'm so sorry.
本当だ、顔が真っ青ですよ。
It's nothing.
なくないでしょ。ちょっと待ってください。確かナイトメア。こちらはミカ。つながりました。出撃前にスキャンした艦長のバイタル記録の紹介をお願いします。かしこまりました。少々お待ちを。バイタル記録の紹介完了。特に異常はありません。おかしいな。緊張してるとか。レイ。
You never.
冗談ですよ、冗談。
冗談じゃない。
騙せようとしただけです。皆さん、前方にモンスターが。
Fuck. He's the guy everyone crashes out about.
それほど強いモンスターではありませんね。
Take him down.
戦闘態勢に入ります。
The tactics we can employ are displayed for you below, Captain, in the form of cards. Drag and drop the downward cut card on your target to attack enemy.
準備完了です。くらえ。
I was able to get a proper hit in, not bad for my first time. Wait, what's this? This symbol anticipates the enemy's actions. The monster will attack soon. The expected damage from the attack will be displayed in the health bar. We must defend ourselves. Cards that do not require a target can be used by sliding them up. Gain a shield by playing a defense card. Now use this momentum to attack again. Or your AP. AP is a required resource to play a card. AP will recover every turn. Tap in the focus area or end the turn. Okay, pretty straightforward. Orders. What does this do? Recover health based on defense. 100% damage. Heal. Recover health based on defense. I can still use cards? Oh. Okay. Oh, wait, shit. Wait, what? Okay. What does this do? Oh, add 1 hit to the next attack card of this unit that is used. Oh, okay. Increase amount of basic attack cards by 100% for 1 turn. That was pointless. Water arrow, 100% damage. 100 amount damage taken till the end of next turn. Eliminated.
倒せましたね。オーウェンさん。そうですか。ありがとうございます。ようやくカオスの環境に慣れてきた気がします。
そう思う時が一番危ないんですよ。油断しないでくださいね。
あ、はい、わかりました。
艦長、大丈夫ですか？今回の作戦は一旦ここで切り上げて帰還しましょうか。
そうですね。艦長のこんな姿初めてです。
But I'm fine, really. Let's continue the mission.
そこまでを。
そうと決まれば張り切っていきましょう。
I don't feel like reading everything they're saying. I'll be here forever. Holy shit.
未確認個体。
なんか食べてます。
僕たちに気づかなかったんでしょうか。
There was a sudden flash. A new tactic just came to mind. Use the card of combat who spot Epiphany. What does that mean? Oh shit. Cards obtained through Epiphanies can be used for 1 turn without consuming AP. Oh shit.
Hi. 待機します。準備完了です。あれは何だったんでしょう。
できることならもっと詳しく調べてみたかったですね。
I suddenly just got really fucking tired. Holy shit. Okay, how long is the tutorial?
艦長。
意識回復。 ニューロン信号安定。
艦長、大丈夫？
脳波から視覚情報が感知されました。
Hi, Rainy.
あなたはファーストでしょ？覚えてないと困るんだけど。
What is a Protoss?
カオスによる忘却ではないと思われます。
ファーストの記憶喪失か。
確認する必要はあるかと。
そうね、正攻法でいきましょう。さて、あなたの名前は？所属は？
Imperial Central Command Protoss Operations Division. Arcanum 6th Fleet.
それから？
Captain of the Chaos Battleship SS Nightmare.
心配するほ
Oh
ど
my
では
god,
な
we
いみた
don't
い
have
ね。
amnesia. Wow.
短期記憶喪失と記録しておき
Oh
ま
my
す。
god, a character that doesn't have amnesia immediately? Okay.
ちょうど今話そうと思ってたところよ。やっと目を覚ましたばかりなのに、緊急事態でね。理解してちょうだい。マリア、お願い。
得意点 HE0042 を通して侵入したカオス。青い壺における出撃作戦が失敗。要員レイは身体に致命的なダメージを負い、強制帰還。要員オーウェンおよびミカ、精神崩壊状態で緊急帰還。現艦長は緊急帰還後意識不明およびライフコア。その後意識は回復した。副艦長レノア
She's cute.
行方不明。味覚コテット隠しておいたわ。復帰して。
Renoa. Yo, Rogue. Hello, lovely. Hello, how are you? I hope you're doing good. Hi, hi, hi. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I see my hair. No one can see my bald head. No one can see my bald fucking head. No, it's you. I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. This game is so fun. I can skip sleeping now. Okay. Dude, my forehead is so fucking big. Whatever. My hair was annoying me. What do you guys rate the story? What do you guys give it? Bro, I'm so tired. Part of me thinks I should just do this tomorrow when I have energy. I want to like enjoy it. I want to play this while I like enjoy it and not when I'm like I'm really so. I've been awake since like 6 in the morning. I want to give it like good time. Like I skipped it, JJ read everything and rated it a 2 out of 10. Like actually, I just love the gameplay. Maybe I just play it. I promise though that I will play it. Well, I promise. If I do, I promise I'll play it tomorrow. And I'll give it time. The thing is, I can't sit down and give it like an hour of time. I just don't have that time right now. How long is the tutorial? I know I fall asleep in my chair. Does no one know? 15 minutes with skip? Well, I'm not gonna skip. I'm not gonna skip. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But I promise I'll do it. Like, I promise with my soul. With my soul. Be bad thing to skip, they'll be right in the first 5 chapters. And you saw you're playing, but if you played tomorrow, it's up to you, man. I'm just so tired, and I want to actually give it like a fair shot when I'm not tired and sleepy and pay attention. Yeah, I'm gonna play it tomorrow when I'm like not tired as shit, so I can like actually pay attention. Otherwise I'm just gonna be pressing fucking buttons, and I don't want to do that. I want to actually enjoy it. I'm gonna love you all and leave you. Y'all could go say hello to Unc for me. Y'all can go say hello to Unc. He's probably, I don't know, shitting on something, whatever he does. I appreciate you. Go have fun. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.